talking about.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the first edition to the Ploto Pod, and we have two special guests here. We got Ruz and Cortex from 2605. What's up, everybody? What's up, you two?
Yo,
Hello.
what's up?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming here, man. Super excited to be starting up this podcast. Always want to start up a podcast. It's funny because I kind of had an idea, but then I was talking to Ruz about it when we were spectating that KVK that you guys are having, the 2605, 1960, and 1093 KVK. And we're like, yo, you know what? As a first guest, for the first podcast, I'll ask you guys to be the guests. So yeah, I guess we could start off with introductions here for people who do not know who you are. Starting with the Ruz. So Ruz, give us a little bit of an intro with who you are and the game and all kind of stuff.
My name is Ruz. I'm most notably known for being a king of SW, or like one of the main leaders of SW for pretty much my entire rock career. I started in a kingdom called, what number was it? I think it was 1473. And it was like back then when there were like crazy civil wars and stuff, and we were getting completely run over by Koreans. And so me and like a group of friends moved to 1129, I think. I think I randomly found the kingdom ad in the Rock Discord, and like I messaged someone. And then after that, I think I saw Chisgle's project video about the Smash Squad forming in 1075. So I messaged Long May He Reign, who was the recruiter at the time, and I, joined up with my group. After that, I think what was it? KVK 4? Yeah, the first KVK was KVK 4, yeah. And me and Cortex arrived there at the same time, but like we didn't know each other at the time. And I'm sure Cortex can tell you about his scandalous life before 1075, but pretty much I got there and we were leading like some sub alliance. It was called SPO, like just me and my group. And I caught the eye of Negan at the time, who was the leader of SW, and he was like, "Yo, you wanna do a special task for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he sends me a spreadsheet, and he's like, I need you to track the stats of all SW members
my goodness.
For this KVK.
This guy's like, yo, want to do something really fun?
Yeah, exactly.
Want to track stats?
It was the biggest debate.
You're probably like super excited, right? You're like, oh my gosh.
100%. I'm like, oh my god, bro. I'm doing officer stuff for Chisgle's Alliance. It's crazy. And so I legit sat there for like 2 hours, and this is before like Rock kingdom scanning. I had to write I literally went down through the power rankings of the alliance. I wrote down everyone's it was just kills at the time, so it was just kills, resource gathered, deads, stuff like that. And I did that like 4 times at 3 times at KVK, I think. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I became an R4. Eventually I took over as R5. As people started stepping down and whatnot, and I've been like the prominent figure of SW up until like last year around March, and then I ended up quitting, and SW moved to 2605. Yeah, that's the story of my life. What about you, Cortex?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have, I guess, quite a similar story. I came to 1075. It's about 4 years ago now, I think. A similar time to when Ruz came, and I played throughout like half of that KVK, and then I was online like sitting in an altar, I remember, in Light vs Darkness KVK, just field fighting like 24/7. And then Negan messaged me, he's like, oh, you seem to cover some good hours, do you want to like help out and be R4 and stuff? I was like, yeah, why not? And then that's how I became R4, and then eventually R5 as well, at around the same time as Ruz, when Negan started trusting us.
Oh yeah.
And then we moved after what, like 7 KVKs there, something like that. 6 maybe.
Oh, 6 there? Yeah. Like no more. I think it was like probably 7 or 8 KVKs there.
Something like that. Anyway, then we moved SW to 1254, and we were there for 5 maybe. I don't know. I quit for like half a year or something during that time after the second or third KVK in 1254, and then I came back now in 2605. So yeah, that's my rock career, I guess. And well, there was some stuff before 1075, but we don't need to talk about that.
Hey, what Russ said, it was scandalous. I want to know what happened for 1075.
I might have been
This guy was
a rogue.
a menace,
Okay?
bro. This guy was a menace.
Oh, you're a rogue? You're an ex-rogue?
I was a serial rogue.
He was a serial
I'm
rogue.
not-
He's not a normal rogue.
I migrated every 30 days, so I stayed like low power, so it wouldn't take many passports. I stayed like around 40 million power. And I would migrate every 30 days to a new kingdom and just go there, go rogue, and then migrate to the next one.
Oh
Just
my
over and over on
goodness.
repeat.
How'd you like sober up from rogueness? Like, how did that?
I don't know.
I would say
I
it's
just-
kingdom structure, to be honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hadn't like ever been in a big kingdom before going to 75. It was all just tiny kingdoms where it was easy to go rogue in. So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. And then I guess my question to you two now is like, what are your current roles in 2605, or like what are you guys currently doing in Rise of Kingdoms?
you want to start, Ruz?
I mean, well, I'm not playing anymore, but like I'm in and out. Like I'm helping out. Like, you know, whenever Cortex needs something. For example, if people saw, I was playing some, you know, in the KVK. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just floating around. I'm not really committed to playing right now. I mean, especially after running into 960 field marches for like 2 weeks straight. I'm kind of good.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that.
I need a bit of a mental break. But yeah, I'm in and out. But I'm still pretty engaged with the community. Like I've been, you know, talking in a lot of discords. I'm still a mod in the Rock Discord. I've been helping out a little bit behind the scenes when it comes to like stuff with leadership. So I have like the KVK Reg Discord, as well as like helping push some like important changes that you know, like people really want in the game and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit more behind the scenes now.
I
But I'm still
remember there was a
trying to
big
get
meme
community.
about you being the god of FTPs because you
Oh
were
yeah,
like,
I'm free to play Jesus.
free to play
That's one of my
Jesus.
alter
There you
egos.
go.
Yeah,
I
that was during when I wait. What was that? I think it was there was a time when they were doing like these really weird changes. I think the main thing was the Barb Fort
yeah,
nerf
yeah.
with AP, and I put out like 3 suggestions, and all 3 of them hit like the 3 most suggested, you know, suggestions of all time in Rock because I just spammed the shit out of every Discord with it. I'm like, yo, you ping infantry fort,
Bro, you
yo,
pinged our whole
archers
kingdom
down.
like a million
Yeah,
times.
I pinged 254 Discord like
you
3
even pinged in
times.
my Discord. Just randomly
Yeah.
like, get a ping in there.
Every major like Rock Discord was pinged. I think I had like 20,000 upvotes across the 3 suggestions or something. It was, yeah, that was an experience. It's a free to play Jesus.
And then it snowballed too, because like there's just this random ping in our Discord in 2068. It's like, you guys have to upvote this. It's like clickbait, bro.
You have to.
But yeah. And Cortex, what are you doing in 2605? What's
Yeah, I'm one of the main R5s and main lead for recruitment and Diplo, basically. And well, war lead and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm quite involved again.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, because I remember you referencing before that you retired and then you came back. Rise of Kingdoms doesn't usually have a boom. Sometimes it does, but for most players, some players, it doesn't have that boomerang effect. Like, I guess my question to the both of you, because Rez, you came back too for a little bit. Like, what made you come back? Like, what inspired you to be active again in Rock?
Well, to be honest, I thought, where do I start with this? I guess I can take it from when I decided to quit the game. It was after the last, proper, I guess you could call it, KVK we had in 1254 before the no match found situation started happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I was luckily quit for all of that, so I didn't have to experience any of that. But yeah, no, after we got to 1254, I dropped out of leadership actually pretty quickly after being very engaged in 1075. It was due to some internal issues in 1254 that I don't really need to go into, but there was some disagreements with other kingdom leaders in 1254, and yeah, some some stuff that I didn't really want to work with. So I stepped down pretty quick. And after that, to be honest, I was like, I was so used to being a leader and so involved for so long in 1075. So when I just became like a player, like after a couple KVKs like that, it became like actually pretty boring for me.
Oh wow.
And yeah, no, it's like, yeah, leadership is a lot of work, but at the same time, I felt like I went from being so involved to like all of a sudden like basically just being another player, right? That doesn't really do anything. And yeah, it's kind of removed a lot of the reason I played the game for me. So I quit, and then this opportunity presented itself with 2605 and this whole thing. So then yeah, I came back and decided to jump back in.
Okay, so it's just like disagreement in 1254, didn't want to do leadership, so he kind of stepped away from the game, came back once they migrated over to 2605. Okay, interesting. And then Ruz, like, I swear you've retired like 3, 4, 5 times. Like...
No. I've only officially quit once, and that was March last year. No, that was March last year. But like since then, I mean, I actually haven't really played that much since then. But like this KVK, the reason I came back just to play and like hang out was like it's the people for me. Like it's not the game.
Yeah.
Like the game doesn't. I don't enjoy personally. I don't enjoy like how the game plays anymore. It's more about like playing with people, right? And like especially this type, like the reason I played this KVK or wanted to play this KVK, was because of just the people, like the kingdoms in the KVK. Like 960, I know a lot of their players. Like I'm very familiar with their kingdom. Same with 1093. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Like the main thing for me is just community.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why I'm like around. Like I'm still talking to you, like joining the streams and stuff, and like still staying pretty well like informed on like how the game's been going, like in terms of like the KVKs, like the matchups and stuff like that, and like how each kingdom, like what each kingdom's doing.
Yeah, that's you're well more informed than me, that's for sure. Like you tell me stuff, I'm like, what is going on? I don't know. I feel like I'm in this this bubble of Rise of Kingdoms while you guys are just all sprawled out. So, and
yeah,
to your point, like I feel like Rise of Kingdoms as a game, like we wouldn't be playing this if it was single player, right? So
yeah. Well, I think another thing is like it feels like such a big game, but then it also feels like such a small circle, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people in the game will like you'll start to know a lot of people in the game, and a lot of people will start to know you, and it's mainly because of how many people just interact with each other. Like if you think of another game like I mean, I'm just gonna say like Destiny or like WoW, right? Where they're MMOs, but you don't really start to know like a lot of the people because like they're just too big. But like Rock, we have thousands of people like in kingdoms like interacting with each other every few months. You know what I mean? With KVK. So it definitely helps like when you have such a big community, but it still feels like quite a small circle that you still know like a lot of people.
By the way, let me shout out Sean the Sheep for the 10 gifties. GG's in the chat for Sean. I'm guessing this is Sean the Sheep. Yo, greatly appreciated. Oh my goodness, starting the stream off with 10 gifties is crazy. But yeah, to counter your point, like yeah, it's Rise of Kingdoms is such an interesting game, and being a content for it is kind of interesting as well, where it's a shared experience, but everyone's experience is different, right? So that's why like even though for a content creator, like in the scale of YouTube, 7K subs is pretty small, but for Rise of Kingdoms people, like they like really support the content creators, and that's because of the shared experience that we're referring to. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. So you're kind of just here for the homies and not really the gameplay is the vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I guess that is it for the intros. Do you guys have anything else that you want to bring up or talk about before we get into your current KVK?
No, I think that's about KVK.
Everything.
All right, so we could go into 2605 versus 1093 versus 960. Where do you even start with this? Like, this has been one of the craziest KVKs I think we've seen, but it's been crazy for I mean, you guys had like your 2 weeks of shine against 960, where there's like, you know, the Attila Gorgo meta that was unbreakable during Zone 5 and all this drama and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of want you guys to lead the conversation of like where you want to go with this. Like, what are your overall thoughts with this KVK?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think obviously like 960 could have, if they wanted to, theoretically pushed us out of Zone 5 earlier if they wanted to, and out of Zone 6 probably earlier as well if they wanted to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't want to just throw troops at us stupidly, obviously, because they need to play for the longevity of the KVK. So, like, yes, I think we did good to hold them, and they did test the waters multiple times and did try to burn our flags multiple times and saw that it was very costly to do so. And even when they got burns, it was very costly. So I think in one way, and also obviously the garrison being really OP, and they realized that pretty quickly. And then in Zone 5, they fully stopped. Well, not fully, but sort of stopped pushing after a few days. And in Zone 6, they wanted to get us out before Kingsland, obviously, so they did push us pretty hard in Zone 6. And they were able to get us out before Kingsland started. But it wasn't cheap. It definitely wasn't cheap. So yeah, I would say we did good holding. But fielding them, I mean, I don't think it's a secret. Everyone knows this. Fielding them is just complete torture. Like, they have every single player basically online all the time.
Not enjoyable, man.
And they're all very, very strong accounts, and they're all very, very synchronized, and they know what they're doing in the field. And I mean, fielding them, no chance. But yeah, I'd say we did what we could holding flags and playing defensively and doing well on territory and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd share the same sentiment where I think one misconception, especially with like newer players to Rise of Kingdoms or people that just watch or are not part of Imperium KVKs, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's people that just watch Rise of Kingdoms content and you know, say their stuff. There's like different levels to Imperiums, right? So I think one of the things that people were thinking during going into this KVK, it's like, oh, it's 3 Imperium KDs. Like for uninformed individuals, like, oh, 3 Imperium KDs, like, you know, they should be going mono v mono, like head to head. So I feel like that was like one of the big things where people were like, why are you not open fielding? Why are you not letting why are you not letting 960 and 1093 1v1? Like, what are your thoughts of those overall comments throughout this KVK?
Well, I mean, the let them 1v1 thing is like kind of silly, because I mean, if you look, like, all the G4s have been basically just pushing 93 the whole KVK, and they've been ignoring 960 because obviously they see that 93 are winning and they're taking advantage of that situation. I know some people like use 960 of like dealing with the G4s and all. I don't think that happened. I think it's more the G4s taking advantage of the situation and just attacking 93 and ignoring 960. So I mean, like, I'd say, I mean, if you look at the southern Zone 6, like, they're gaining a lot of ground off of 93, and also we're burning 93's forts. They've had to rebuild their forts every single day basically on the passes they have with us. So, like, yeah, I mean, like, people saying that us hitting 960 is like ruining the 1v1 or whatever. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I think that's a stupid comment to make.
Like, that's the thing that's so weird about free-for-all KVKs. And by the way, shout out to War Daddy Chasky for the 5 gifted. Thank you. The support this stream has been crazy. But yeah, I think like that's the what happens in a free-for-all KVK and why I feel like they're fun to watch, but they're dreadful to play. Because there's just always this he said, she said, they did this, they did that. And
right.
No one's really happy, right? So like, what are your thoughts on FFA KVK, and maybe if you would want to like go into how that even happened in the first place for those who don't know?
Yeah, I mean, I think free-for-all KVK is generally speaking just stupid. Because, I mean, I don't think... We had our previous free-for-all in 1254 with 365 and 556 that ended in disaster with 556 and 365 basically ignoring each other.
Yeah. I remember that.
And this one's also a lot of drama. I'd say this is so far at least not as bad as that one was. But but also maybe that's because we're not on the receiving end of being pushed in other places or getting 2v1 in Kingsland or whatever this time. But yeah, I think generally speaking, free for alls are never a good idea, and like because there will be a lot of people playing to obviously try to take advantage of the situation, and then kingdoms not hitting each other because they see mutual benefit, and it sort of turns into a very weird situation, right? Where it's like you're not hitting each other, but you're not allied, but at the same time you're fighting a common enemy. So yeah, it's just a lot of weirdness around it, and I think it's always just pretty bad. As for the why are we not field fighting them stuff, I mean, we realized pretty quickly, and we even, I mean, have had this like written down basically and talked about this before. Like we knew we were not going to be able to 1v1 field 960, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, and we know that their resource bags and speed up bags are way deeper than ours. I mean, they're off what four skips, I think, and we're off one skip, plus their 960. So
3 skips.
so yeah. Three? Okay. So yeah, I mean, we were never going to be able to drain them. And we were never going to be able to win the field against them either, so
Yeah, I think.
yeah, we did what we could, and then decided it wasn't worth it to keep field fighting them, and instantly run all our members out of resources in Zone 5.
Yeah, I think that's. I think it's completely fair. Where understanding the limits of like, yeah, what do you even gain, and even in that Zone 5, what do you even gain from fielding there, right?
Right.
Even if you tried to, like, what's the purpose?
I mean, it proved to be like really smart later on because we had to swarm rallies for 2 weeks straight. Like if we wasted resources fielding them in like the first zone and even the start of the second zone, we wouldn't have had any resources to swarm rallies, or at least like, the people that were doing that.
Yeah.
We would have lost a lot more flags if it came down to it.
So I guess we could go into the topic of the current state of the KVK and what's going on now in terms of 1093 and 960. I guess I could go ahead first talking about, I feel like the momentum's kind of shifting a little bit, where 1093 has been pushing throughout Kingsland, and then this is like, I think 960 was able to burn quite a couple of flags and reestablish this river line during the 1093 downtime. Like, what do you think of this Kingsland, I guess, for the two of you? What do you think of this Kingsland, and how long do you think this Kingsland will go?
I mean, at the start, well, I like, just first off, I think a lot of like newer players that don't really know the Imperiums, which is kind of surprising that not a lot of people knew 1093. They underestimated them, and they thought that 960 would just completely steamroll them because I guess they were like broadcasted a lot more as the really big powerhouse of the game. But when Kingsland opened, I mean, it was probably like the peak of like fighting potential for 1093. Essentially, how it works is, I think I covered this on your stream like a couple of days ago, Ploto. But for the lower spenders and mid spenders for 93, the longer the KVK goes on, the better it is in their advantage, because 960 would be capped on their tech for a longer amount of time. So by 93, having to fight them in Kingsland is the perfect opportunity for them. Especially when it comes to like timing, and like I think I brought this up in the last stream, or like today, well, with taking like days off, because they haven't had to have a really big opening this KVK yet, while 960's have been having to have like people constantly on throughout the KVK. So having a really big opening like this means that they can have a lot of momentum at the start, and we saw that at the start of Kingsland. And I think the reason why it looked like they were so strong in those in that first day or the first few hours is because there were just so many touch points against 960.
Yeah.
And 960 like really strives for having a lower amount of touch points so that they can concentrate all their like bigger players onto those flags. At the start, they had like, I think it was up to 12 flags touching across the like entire side of the zone, and in like that whole bottom right path has just been completely cut off, and now they're in that top right pocket. But if you're actually watching, like, they only have four or five flags touching that are actually like burnable by 1093, where they like don't need to walk across the a river or like around something to burn it. So it really in 960's favor to like concentrate all their really big players on a small amount of flags, and I think that's why they're doing a lot better now. I mean, I personally think if this goes on for another like 2 or 3 days, 960 can probably turn the tide and start retaking territory. They've already been getting some burns on flags, especially on the like lower side now. But as 93's like free to play and lower spender base starts to get a little bit more drained, then 960 can really like flip it because of their consistent activity.
By the way, shout out to On My Way podcast about your siege attack zenith push. Nice, bro. Big W. Appreciate the 5, man. And I don't know if there's ever siege attack zenith skin, maybe I'll go for it just for you. But yeah, this KVK has been super interesting to watch with this Kingsland, and everything you said is true. Like, do you think like there's been whispers, and this is whenever I stream this KVK, it's like, oh, it's part of 960's plan. It's all part of 960's plan. They're not filling with main account troops so that when 1093 gets drained, they could start pushing. Do you think this is like what's being executed right now? Like, do you think, and do you also think 1093, especially the free-to-play low spenders, have the potential to get drained?
Oh, 100%. I mean, like, 960's accounts are unlimited bags of resources and speed ups. Like those account, and like another thing that I think I forgot to mention was like how, like, I think Cortex brought it up, but like their accounts are like the same amount of accounts are online like constantly, right? Like no matter what time of the day, they're just on like constantly, and it's consistently. So while they're maintaining like the same amount of numbers, and 93's players are starting to like slowly fall off, they're gonna start feeling the pressure, because as soon as those numbers start to get like closer to even, then it's already in 96 favor because of like the quality of their accounts. So I think that, yeah, like it's 100% like a part of 960's plan. I think they probably knew about this sort of pocket that they could make. And the reason they weren't filling with mains before was because there really was no point. Like they would never have held those flags anyway if they filled.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to just like kind of coin flip on Storm in the rally to delay as long as they possibly can. But I definitely think 960 orchestrated this.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough situation. And I think we talked about this earlier too, where it's 960's pressure is constant, right? It's up to 1093 in terms of their pressure. And if they keep up the pressure and the momentum, if they win or lose this KVK, because 960 is going to do what 960 does, right? They're going to have most, if not all of their players on the open field at all times. They're going to be, doing their thing, but it's really up to 1093 and their players to be consistently on, to have, how many alliances do they have? 3, 4 alliances on? 4? Yeah. To really make some noise. Like, Cortex, like, what do you think, as being in 2605 and being more connected to the kingdom, like what's the vibes coming from over there about this KVK and how it's turning out right now?
I mean, to be honest, like obviously, like it hasn't, I won't say it's been like a super fun KVK for us by any means, because obviously we haven't been able to field fight as much as we wanted to and all that kind of stuff. Like at least until now, I feel like now it's getting more fun because we can take sort of smaller fights and more fights on our terms and push where we want and when we want and that sort of thing. But no, it's been good. People are still getting on. Obviously, it's been like one of the biggest challenges during this KVK is keeping people motivated.
Yeah,
because of the whole situation. Because obviously, like it's no secret, when the Diplo was done in this KVK, we knew we weren't gonna win. We knew, like there's no rewards. There's nothing like in it for us in this KVK in that sense, right?
Yeah.
Like we're just playing to fight and playing to have fun, and that's basically what's in this KVK for us. So yeah, I mean, but it's been good. People are, doing their thing, field fighting when we need. So yeah, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with what Ruz was saying about the Kingsland. I feel like the longer this goes, the bigger the advantage for 960 will become, as the lower end players of 93 get more and more drained. And I guess it's also actually a question of if the G4s are able to enter Kingsland. Like, sure, they might be weaker kingdoms, but they can still be really annoying and have presence and burn flags from the back and all that sort of stuff. And also, I guess if we can keep burning through, we might be able to get in there at some point too. So yeah, this KVK is by no means over. I don't think, like so many people say, look, the GTR in the small corner, 93 is one. I don't think that's true by any means. I think it's definitely still up for grabs for GT. Obviously, 93 are favored in terms of territory right now, but I still think GT can win this KVK.
One thing about the territory, right, where it's, yes, they have this corner, but if there's any kingdom, if there's any alliance that could come back from having or using as little territory as possible to its maximum effect, it'd be 960, right? Because 960, all of their players are max tech, all of their players pack a certain amount of firepower and punch. And I think that's like one thing about territory is like you could look at every single city and be like, oh, this is how much power or this is what they're bringing to the KVK. 960's 7 marches with max tech are probably, out of like all the other kingdoms, probably gonna, you know, bring the most punch compared to, you know, if it was any other kingdom, right? So, and playing, as Ruz said, playing to the strength of like, now they only have to defend this little area, so all of their players are kind of in the same spot, which is what they're strong at. So yeah, it's an interesting KVK. I'm gonna ask a question from Sam Leo here. Looking at the map, do you even think GT has a chance to reach Zig on time? We know 93 is a monster at defense, plus so they can backflag. Because yeah, they are rather far away from the Zig, and I think we talked about this earlier. There's 11 days left of KVK, right? Is it 11?
Mm-hmm.
11,
yeah, I think it's 11. Yeah.
So what do you guys think of like 960? Do you think they could push towards Zig if 1093 lets up the pressure in 11 days?
I mean, definitely. There's definitely
100%
time. Like all it takes, because there's no forts in Kingsland, right? All it takes is one day of good push, and like, yeah, it can really be turned around, and it's really a snowballing effect. So yeah, I mean, 960 did really good to like keep that corner, don't give up the river control, because I think if they gave up the river around the area in Kingsland that they have, it probably would have been over. But holding that river area is really, really strong, and I think they've done really, really well in holding that area for as long as they have.
Yeah, it's
And
super
it gives
defensive.
it gives them a position to be able to push out of if the tides do turn. So yeah, it's still anyone's game in my opinion.
There you go. So my question is like, what's the plan for 2605? How are you guys getting in here and stealing the Zig? What's the the master plan?
Well, we're not stealing the Zig, I can tell you that. Like, that's not happening. But there is a possibility that we do get in there at some point, and I don't know where that's gonna be or how that's gonna happen. So far, 93 has put up a lot more pressure at keeping us in bay. They constantly, like every single day, as we burn down their forts on the pass, they fully rebuild them. They send field over.
Yeah.
And rebuild their forts every single day. They've done that probably 3 or 4 times at this point, I think. But so yeah, right now we're able to gain more free ground against 960, and we're closer to Kingsland on that side. But I don't know, it might be the top pass, the bottom pass, and I mean, if we enter the bottom pass, even from the right zone 6, it'll be against 93 where they have territory. And if we enter from the top, it'll be behind where 960 is fighting. So I don't know, it's really hard to say what will happen. I mean, we're not going to stop fighting, we're going to keep going until we can't no more, obviously, and see where it gets us. But like, yeah, I mean, there's no hope of getting the Zig or any sort of that stuff is not happening. But
and as you were saying, like, it must, like, I never thought of it that way, right? With the matchup, you see, boom, the 2 titans. People, I mean, we could say they're the top 2 kingdoms in Rise of Kingdoms, right? With 960, 1093, I'd put 1365. I don't know how strong they are after they're in their current position, and that's actually something we'll get into later on in the stream when we go into the game section with the kingdom rankings. But like, it must have been really, really tough to be like, especially like, I don't know, like going into KVK, FFA, you're versing the 2 strongest kingdoms in the game. Keeping your players motivated and having people on must have definitely been a tough situation, but maybe it's also a way to shed weight. I don't know. Like, what's your opinion on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a good test of character to see who's really in your kingdom, you know, to fight and to just truly fight whoever, whenever, And that's been we've learned a lot this KVK, to be honest. We've seen, or well, I've seen at least, and our leaders have seen, like, who are really in it to, just fight for the sake of fighting and for the sake of having fun, and not just for rewards or easy KP or easy fights. That's been really evident this KVK. So yeah, no, definitely there's a lot to clear after KVK, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there has been obviously people that have been like, no, not gonna fight, we can't win, blah blah, obviously that's gonna happen. And I think it's a good opportunity for us to weed those people out of the kingdom, because obviously we don't want people who are just here to get free wins or free KP or whatever it may be, right? So yeah, it's been good in that sense, and definitely a big learning opportunity for us.
By the way, Lady Mock, thank you for the membership. I completely missed that. GG's in the chat for Lady Mock. And I think we talked about this earlier, but we actually got like 90 more viewers since we talked about it. Shout out to everyone for coming on to the first episode of the Ploto Pod. Like, everyone keeps saying, oh, you're allied with 1093. Like, what do you have? Obviously, like, and from my opinion, you're not. But like, what do you think of those like allegations, and then what do you have to say about that?
Well, I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, people have been saying the G4s are allied with 960. People have been saying we're allied with 93. But in reality, we have been pushing where we can gain the most ground, and that happens to be against 960. I mean, 960 has not... After the first day, they have come over like a couple times to like try to fight us for a couple hours, but that's been about that. Like after the first day, after we got the initial mountain up into the zone. Whereas 93 every day come back and build their forts, and at the same time, 93 are dealing with a lot from the G4s. So I think we maybe sort of balance it out from 960 having to deal with us, 93 having to deal with the G4s more, I guess, and 960 having to deal with us more than I guess 93 has had to deal with us. But no, there's no allies. I don't think 960 is allied with the G4s. We're not allied with 93.
That's just the weirdness of FFA KVKs,
right? It is
right?
just what happens when there is FFA. People will accuse, people will make assumptions, like, oh, why are you not fighting here? It's like, people, people have been telling me, like, because they have if you look on the left side of Kingsland, on the Kingsland pass that 93 haven't taken yet.
Oh yeah, there's like, they're saving this for 2605, yeah.
No, but people are telling me, oh, why don't you fort drop here? Yeah, what do you think would happen if we fort drop there? They would come over there in 10 minutes, clear our ball that's like a million miles away from our pass, and burn our fort. Yeah, nice. If we could drop there and build our fort, I would do it in a heartbeat, okay? But it's just so unrealistic, and I feel like a lot of people saying all these things
just
don't really know what's happening in the
Cortex, the 1K gems.
Oh, yeah. No, I feel like a lot of the people saying this stuff don't really know what's happening in the KVK, and they don't really know what they're talking about in general, so I don't really put any value into the people saying all these types of stuff.
What do you think, Ruz? What do you... I mean, let me just say real quick that just from a strategic point of view, the reason why you're in 960 zone is because your zone 4 is literally connected to the 960 zone. Just how like the G4's zone 4s are connected to 1093 zone, right? It's just way easier for you to push from there compared to 1093, where you have to push from this pass that they consistently defend and redrop the forts. So it's just like, what's the point of fighting here? And you do burn the forts. It's just they continue to send open field marches and drop the forts over and over and over again, right? So, but yeah, Ruz, what do you think of what do you have any? You're about to hop in.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. People who accuse that are so dumb. But like the funny thing is that people who accuse that are also the same people that say like, "Are you stupid for thinking that 960 allied Earth?" You know, like it goes both ways. Like you're saying, it's just like I hate FFA KVKs, man. Like anyone who was playing around like 1.5 years ago during that free for all KVK knows how much of a tangent I went on about what happened in that Kingsland. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like you just said, like we literally fought, or like 2605 is literally neighboring 960 zone 4s. So we fought them in zone 5, and we worked on draining them. Zone 6, we did exactly the same thing. So I don't understand how like someone would think, oh, let's just swap gears and start hitting 1093 when we've already been working on 960 so hard, and we already have a territory foothold in their zone. Like we have forts, we have so many different flag lines inside their zone. and we're running into passes set up like pre-set up passes against 1093 with forts that get redropped. And another thing that a lot of people skipped over is the fact that 93 will put in more of an initiative to push back whatever 2605 tries to take than 960 would. Like 960 would only spend only probably like a couple hours like trying to defend against and like hunt some KP like like when there's nothing else going on. But 93 will literally send a ton of people just to, get stuff reset up.
Gotcha. So it's like
you really have to.
It's like path of least resistance in a way, where
Yeah,
it's like
no, exactly. No, absolutely, it's path of least resistance.
Okay, so
Like, yeah, I mean, well, just before, like, someone brought up that free for all KVK does not necessarily mean you hit everyone. It means you hit whoever's in your advantage, right? And that was brought up when the 960 and Earth Camp allies was brought up as a defense to that. So it's exactly the same thing here. Like there's really no benefit to be hitting 93 here at all. At least like they don't give us a reason to, in terms of like how much they're actually sending to be able to combat us versus 960. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Do you guys have any other comments or anything you want to clear up about this KVK, about the Master Zig plan? There's actually one thing I want to bring up is, like, what do you think of domains? This is the first KVK where
don't get me started on domains, man.
This is the first KVK where you guys were the guinea pigs essentially of the domain system, if I remember correctly, right? Where you guys were the first ones with domains. Like, what is your overall thoughts on domains and I guess the matchmaking of this KVK? Because I do think the Diplo was a direct product of the matchmaking that happened in this KVK.
Look, I'm honestly not a fan of the domains. I'm actually working with, like, I don't think a lot of people know, but I'm working with a lot of like the kings in my Discord to write something up, and hopefully Lilith can make some change about it, because it does have quite a significant effect on the game. I think my two biggest like gripes with it is, first of all, it's completely unnecessary, I think, and it's like really outdated, which is kind of funny to say because it came out recently, right? But I think it provides more leadership stress and burden than it does benefit. So I will say that it does help big kingdom, like a lot bigger kingdoms, get a match. The only problem with that is the way Lilith's matchmaking works is it thinks putting 4 or like 3 of like C and D kingdoms together is enough to be able to combat like a strong A, or like
960
like an Imperium. Yeah, exactly, right? Like how can they put, like, pretty much this KVK map is saying that there's 2605, there's 1093, there's 960, but then 4 of these C and D kingdoms together will be able to like equal any one of those certain Imperiums, right? Which I think is, first of all, that's not a domain issue. That's like kind of probably a large, like a bigger picture issue. But the second thing is, which we really didn't see in this KVK, but a lot of the big domains are just ruining like smaller KVKs.
Yeah.
So for example, like 2605, 1093, and 960 all had 3 domains, right? And they all ended up as their own camp in another KVK. And I'm pretty sure only one of 93's other domains like set up forts in front of a pass, and that's about it.
Yeah, let's actually take a look.
So they just
let me take a look at these domains real quick. And that's one of the things that I was wondering about with domains is like, what are you guys gonna do with your tier 2 and tier 3 domains? Because you guys have a tier. This is great because we have Cortex on here. You have a second domain. Like, did you even look at that KVK as leadership?
And the third domain.
And the third
no,
one?
we're our own camp in the second domain, but we haven't even looked. We have not built a single fort.
Oh my goodness.
We have no idea what's going on there. So like, that's ruining the KVK for the kingdoms that are in there, right? They have camps not even participating in the KVK, and some camp got our third domain in their camp, and now they have a kingdom a domain, I guess, in their camp not even participating, right?
Yeah.
So it's very, very bad. I think that there are.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Or the way it currently works.
That must be really bad for Diplo.
1175. Ploto, search up 1175. Have a look at. This is the most recent pop up for a domain. So the one that happened yesterday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Look at 1175 second domain.
Yeah. Which
Oh.
one? This one?
Oh yeah. Have a look at how many farm domains. Actually, I can send you a picture. Are you able to pull it up?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 farm domains. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Look,
and
I'll
like
send
when the matchmaking happened in our KVK, we got messaged by the kingdoms in these other KVKs that we have our other domains in, and they're like trying to diplo with us and all this sort of stuff, and it's like, no, we're not, playing that KVK. Like,
And
Yeah.
sorry to tell you, but like, yeah, we can't play a KVK on our farm accounts. Like,
it's primarily your farms too, right? Like it's
only farms.
it's only
yeah.
farms. Yeah.
I mean, we have 150 main accounts. We have and like all the even fighting farms we have in our main domain.
So it's like
It's only basically AFK farms that are like basically not enough power to like do anything. It's all like
Yeah.
10 mil power accounts that
Yeah.
barely have City Hall 25. Like that's all there is.
I actually saw
Yeah.
that 1079 was I think I was talking to Gaines. He's like, yo, we got a matchup against
365.
365, and then he
Yep.
saw like, oh, what's 2? And then it's like domain 2. Shout out to 1079, but my goodness, like imagine just being
that's
in
that's
this
pretty bad.
KVK, and it's, oh my goodness, it must be pretty tough. But
Yeah, I think the main like issue is like two things is first, this would have been amazing like 2 years ago when there was 365 in their prime with 4 alliances, and 1254, 93, even 846 had like 7 alliances in that one KVK
yeah,
or whatever it was, like 12, right? Because then like I think this is Lilith's intention, but I'm like they've never confirmed they've never really confirmed any like of these type of things, but you can only guess that their intention was for kingdoms to split up into multiple domains. So like for example 1093, they would split up like, let's say, one alliance plus like 50 people from their 4th alliance per domain and play 3 separate KVKs, right? The only problem with that is like leadership as it is are already so burnt out, and there's so few like really good leadership figures within kingdoms. So you're not going to want to plan 3 separate KVKs. Like you don't have 3 sets of war leads. Like can you imagine having 5 touch points in one KVK? That means you'd need 15 different like competent war leads plus like assisting R4s to help with garrison swaps, markers and all that. It's too much, right? It's too much. So and the second point is like the meta for kingdom building right now is completely changed. All these different kingdoms, like I can even use like examples like 846 and 365. Everyone is downsizing to 1 and 2 alliance kingdoms. So no one is going to want to split a 1 alliance kingdom up into multiple domains. Like Cortex just said, like 150 main accounts, 2605 is a 1 alliance kingdom. They're not going to split up 2605, like the 1 alliance, into 2 separate domains to fight 2 separate KVKs.
Let alone 3.
Yeah, let alone 3, exactly. So I think the system's just a bit weird, like the introduction. I think just having a straight up hard cap of like either 600 or 800 counts is perfect. Because then you don't have to worry about, setting up all the other domains. You don't have to worry about other domains ruining other KVKs. Like you just set 800 people you want to be in the KVK. Everything else can just stay in zone 4 and, farm higher level nodes. It's as simple as that.
fair. Okay, so like what are your proposed changes to domains? It would be just remove domain 2 and domain 3.
Yep.
From
I think
the equation.
domain 2 and 3.
And then after that the domain system's fine. Is that and then don't match up like 4 B seeds to equal 1 Imperium, and
yeah, like it needs to have a little bit more intuition. And another thing is like camp placement. Like, can you imagine this KVK if 960 and 1093 were like either next to each other or like imagine 1093 was swap places with us or like 2605, right?
Yeah.
Because then they'd be able to have their 1v1, and then 2605 would be able to match the other 3 camps. So it would be like a little bit more balanced. Like I'm not like way more balanced. I mean, in comparison to what is going on now.
Yeah, and I mean it doesn't make sense either, because when last time we played Warriors in Band 2, 846 was the biggest kingdom. They were top left. 1175 were the second biggest kingdom. They were bottom left. We were the third biggest. We were top right, and then who was it? Bottom right? Well, it was 1254 and whatever else was in there. Anyway,
Yeah.
So it usually goes top left highest power, bottom left second highest, top right third highest, and then bottom right fourth highest. But I have no idea why GT are bottom right, because that's basically saying that they're the fourth strongest camp on the map.
Yeah.
Like, we're in a position where it's saying that we're stronger than GT, which makes zero sense, right?
Yeah.
No,
And
I mean,
So, yeah,
even
I
on
don't know,
that,
it's
like,
really...
the other two KVKs, like the 960 and the 2489 KVKs, they were literally the only two kingdoms. 960 was top left, 2489 was bottom left. And another one, the 307 1093 one.
Yeah,
93
that's
was
true.
top left, 307 was bottom left. Like, there's so many cases where...
You know, it makes
there's
me think
intuition.
that there was something like done behind the scenes, maybe, because maybe their thought was, oh, this is going to be an epic KVK, we need to let them fight in Kingsland, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's the only explanation I can find, because, like, it makes zero sense. Like, looking at the history of KVKs, like, it's never been like this.
Yeah, it's
But,
definitely
yeah,
questionable.
anyway.
So yeah, domain system definitely needs some work is what I'm getting at here. And shout out to the lower seeds, because I guess you get more autarch rewards, but at the same time your KVKs are literally filled with dead domain 2 and 3 kingdoms. So
Oh, yeah.
okay, so is there anything else you want to bring up about the KVK, or any other?
Nah,
I think we
covered it.
most of it.
Oh no, we get to the juice.
All
I think
right.
everyone's wanting to get this.
And I'm not gonna go. You could go into as much detail or as little detail as you want to. I think Ruz kind of summarized it a little bit, but I kind of also wanted it from your perspective, Cortex, as you know, you were there for a bit, but you weren't really there. What happened in 1254?
Well, from my perspective, I mean, I can take it from the start, I guess. We got there. There were, like, instantly off the bat, I can say there was a lot of weirdness. Like, we had talked before that we were gonna get one of each, what are their structures called again?
What, shrine?
Shrines, yeah. Shrines. That was, like, the first thing that happened.
Uh-huh.
That we were promised before we got there. And, like, in the big picture, it's not really a big deal. It's shrines, whatever. But, we were promised certain shrines. I don't remember exactly what they were anymore. And then once we got there, we were promised that by TR. And then it was like, oh, the other alliance that currently had this shrine didn't even know that we were supposed to get it. And that instantly caused a bunch of I guess, disagreements and drama within the kingdom's different alliances. There was 4 alliances, I think, when we got there, including us. And so that happened, and then there were... I mean, I don't know how much or how little we should go into all of this in detail.
It's all it's you know, just a couple of homies.
I mean,
in a pod.
I just think...
Not just in front of 200 people, no biggie.
Look, I think up until the free for all KVK, we were doing fine. Like, we had at the time it was pub.
I remember
G3.
I remember.
Yeah, it was pub.
Yeah.
Because SW was in like so good in that free for all KVK. I was swinging to a bunch of people in the Octagon about this yesterday, but in the like we were pretty much single-handedly like completely pushing 556, like as in just SW, and then TR was, you know, matching JST, and then we had pub and like 875, like, you know, as the secret allies at KVK. We're dealing with BLN and like OG. But yeah, like I think up until then it was fine. We like had some issues like going around with mainly pub and like the pub leadership. Actually, it was was it TRO? It was mostly revolving around Jolly. Jolly was someone from man, what kingdom was it? Was it 1146 or was it 1156?
Don't remember.
I think it was 56. He came from 1156, and then he went to 1079, and then he came back to 254. And he he was a British tennis player that would play tennis matches during our pass openings. So we had a common enemy, and that's like kind of what like grew us a little bit. So like in terms of like, you know, like friendships wise, SW, TR, and Liv were pretty close at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, we kind of had a little bit of vendetta against Jolly.
Liv would end up being Q7 because you guys got the name stolen.
No. They just wanted the name change.
Oh, you want the name change? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so I think it was personally fine up until then. I think after the free for all is when we decided to bring in HMB. Right?
No,
Wait,
no,
did we
no.
have 5 alliances?
No.
Dude, we had...
It was after our KVK, the 3v5.
Oh, was it? Oh, right. Okay.
Because you
Yeah, that's
guys
true,
wanted
actually.
us to merge with HMB if we were to
Yes,
migrate to 12.
you're right. Yeah, so we had a normal migration, and then we migrated in. Well, there wasn't. We didn't cause drama. Like we were promised. Like we talked to TR leadership, and we were promised a shrine when coming in because there was a sign that we'd be like an alliance like similar of TR, like next to TR, and then we didn't get it. But that wasn't drama that was like caused on our end. It was drama that was more so like the old shells, like leadership
It
had
was
more of
lack of
a
communication, to be honest,
yeah.
within.
Well, yeah, it was lack of communication and it was a lack of like proper like because I mean most people know like the 254 motto like nothing like it's not all delicate planning and stuff. It's more like on the go, and I think a lot of that was what caused a lot of these miscommunication problems and stuff. But anyway, yeah, so we get to that 3v5 KVK. I don't know. I think at this point, Cortex, did you play that KVK or you quit?
The 365? The free for all?
No,
Wait.
the 3v5.
The last one, yeah, I played it.
No, the one before that.
Mm,
The one against like Ghost Rider and I think you were quit for that KVK. But
Yeah, I don't remember Cortex being there.
yeah. So we had 3v5. That was a pretty fun KVK in my opinion. I think
oh no, I did play that. That was the last one I
Oh, you
played, and
did?
then I quit. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Oh no, chances quit for that one. Anyway, yeah, we had. I think I had fun for that KVK, but after that is when we decided we wanted to bring in HMB, and we thought the meta at that point was we needed to get bigger and we needed to have more war, like, you know, war alliances. So by that point, we were planning to have 5 alliances. But what we didn't foresee coming was just how many kingdoms would just start dying and dropping. And I'm not talking about big Imperiums, I'm talking more of the A kingdoms that would sit like halfway between the Imperium line and the top of the Imperium, like, the top Imperium charts. Because those are the kingdoms that have the most effect on the line. So when we brought them in, at first it was pretty, like, it's pretty, like, casual, it's pretty chill. I think Chad has had relations with Chisel before, so it was like, it was through us, and we were like, let's reach out to these different groups. I think so. Like Ploto said, we reached out to 2268. They didn't plan on moving. We talked to, I think, some other shells, but yeah, we landed on HMB, and we brought them in. I want to note that bringing them in had some issues when it came to migration budget, especially on SW specifically, because around this time is when I was like essentially doing like most of the stuff related to like leading SW. And what had happened is we had lost a lot of our player base just because of how like old our our players were and how how like worn out they were.
Yeah.
So SW ended up dropping to like, man, like if we're talking about how many people actually contributed in that KVK, I would probably say about half or like close to like
half
80,
an
85.
alliance, so
Yes.
damn.
And I'm talking meeting bare minimum requirements. I'm not talking about meeting like you did really well, right? The problem was when bringing in an alliance, and like any other leadership that has done like a merge would know how much of a toll it actually takes on your top 300, like Imperium burden wise. So we brought them in and they were worth a lot of power. And TR also wanted to have a big migration. I think that's when they brought the 556 group in. They had their players were quite big. And so for the most part, like SW and Q7 didn't really have that great of a migration. SW had to, like, I had to cut people that like didn't, they barely, like, not barely, like they greatly did not meet like the bare minimum requirements. But I had to keep a lot of people that like still did not meet the bare minimums, but they were like close enough. And the reason that is because like, first of all, I didn't want to like empty the alliance, because if I really truly did that, with the migration that we had, I had to recruit a lot of like lower power, like budget players, I mean, granted, like a lot of them were like really good for their power, but they're not a lot of like the heavy hitters that we used to. So we ended up being about 200, not 200, like close to like 120 players up post migration of like migrants plus confirmed like active fighters, right? Meanwhile, like CR got a lot of like the really good at 556 group. Q7 had a pretty similar migration to us. They usually recruit a lot of the like efficient players, so that's when things started to go a little bit downhill. Then we had that 2K KVK. So I want to clear this up because I got blamed for this. I had no relation to us registering that KVK pop. So I was in charge of
Diplo.
like scouting out. Well, not necessarily Diplo, but I was in charge of scouting out kingdoms, like who's going in what pop, etc. Right?
Okay.
And I was in the middle of scouting and like looking in discussions with people, and this was like a day before the like pop ended. When I went to bed, that like the 12 hours before reset, they had a council meeting, and they decided to register into HA, thinking that there were like 3 other of the Imperiums going in, like the A Kingdom. So like I think it was 875 at the time was going in, and like either 671 or 674. I don't remember the difference, or 47. But the info was wrong. They ended up going in a different KVK mode. So we obviously went in with look, even see, I did Diplo with Ritz. Ritz knows how confused I was on the day of doing Diplo, because I woke up and we had registered, and I was immediately scrambling to figure out like what our KVK matchup was going to be. And I think I talked with Ritz about this, because Ritz was saying like, "Wow, you guys registered," and he was leadership in 2000. So, yeah, we obviously got in the map. It was like, I'm not going to say that it was going to be a good KVK, but at least it was a KVK. And like obviously shit happened in Diplo. You can ask Ritz how much I literally was on my knees begging.
Please
2K.
fight us.
So, I'm dead serious. I was legit begging these guys. Like I wasn't even toxic. I was like, come on, like you can't be doing this. Like a kingdom our size, we're legit gonna die. And I was telling them all the benefits of it. Like you do have a chance. I was giving the numbers, whatever. Like I was trying to get something for the kingdom, because when you're promising a kingdom like how big we were and how stacked we were, to actually get a KVK, and we get a KVK like that, it's devastating, right? So I tried to get something. We obviously didn't get anything, and that started the complete downhill. So that KVK lasted 2 months. That was was that second or third? I think that was our second. I think we registered second pop. Third pop is actually when 2268, and you guys had that Korean KVK.
Yeah.
And that was what I was originally planning to get us to register into if we hadn't registered to that. But
you
yeah.
guys are trying to snipe us?
No. I was
Wow.
talking to Panther and stuff about that. I'm like, when are you guys registering? Like, blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah, that was a terrible KVK. That was about 2 months. And then after that is when we entered the next 8 months of no KVK. We got back to back no match founds 3 times. We ended up on 7th pop, and we had to fight.
Wait, I want to bring up something real quick. I
Oh, yeah,
remember we were literally like, because
the Orleans, dude, the Orleans. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, keep going.
After being allies with you guys, we kept in touch. Definitely, especially with Redline, and he would do like, because he can't play Rise of Kingdoms. This guy was literally just playing whatever he could. I have a stream titled "Playing Fall Guys with 1254 since I can't play Rock." March 25th, 2023.
Oh yeah.
And then we were just playing Fall Guys with like a bunch of random people from 12.
Dude, that was fun as fuck though, was it not?
Yeah,
that was so fun.
That
was so fun. Bro, I remember that. That was so good.
But yeah, like I want to see the names real quick. I don't even know if I can. But like, yeah, like
it was like, yeah.
You could see like Bunny was there. Like you kind of see like all the names on the top left there. But yeah, it was that was a tough experience for you guys. And then as you were talking about, our KVK losing streak started because of you guys.
You're welcome. Well, on that note, we so I would like after like one of the so we registered one KVK, like praying that we'd get a match in a HA because there was some random other like small imps that were registering. We didn't get a match, and then I was legit scrambling to get something for the kingdom.
Mhm.
I talked to, okay, who were the kingdoms? It was 429. So
No, it wasn't 420. It was
was it not 429? It
oh
was.
no, yeah, it was 429.
Yeah,
429.
it was 429. It was 2755.
Yep.
It was 2268, and it was 774.
No, it's 1671. It's
And
1671.
1671. Yep. So those four kingdoms should have been able to give us a pop. We told people we went through all that activity shit, man. That was soul crushing. Like we told people to not log on for like a week, like completely limit activity and all that. Some people deleted like a bunch of we all deleted Siege, took off equipment, we zeroed a bunch of dead weight. We did everything, and then we were joking. We had having a town hall, and we're like, imagine we do all this and we don't get a match, and we're like, there's no way, right? So come the end of matchmaking phase, no match found. And I like Ploto can tell you, I literally went in like I had a group chat with like 2268 people like Panther Pro and shit.
Yeah, like
I
it's
literally
done.
went in there
Like-
and I was so depressed. Like I was genuinely so depressed. And Panther was like, "Bro, I've never seen you this fucking sad in my life." I'm like, "There's no way." It's like waking up to a nightmare, man. And that was terrible. So after that happened, like it was just like we already knew nothing was going to get us a match unless we wait for another Imperium. So we had to wait for 365. I'm pretty sure it was the 7th pop. It could have been the 8th, but I don't exactly remember. Yes, and we all spammed Lilith's support to get us to try and
you
like
had
get
us.
us into the KVK.
You had
Yes,
literally
and I had
all of
you.
the kingdoms
Yeah.
sign like
So-
a petition, like get get top
I-
54 in the
Yeah.
KVK.
So first I was depressed for like the first like 3 hours. I'm like, fuck it. Like I had like people who've been around my leadership know that like I'm not gonna fucking stop. Like I'm gonna do something stupid. Like whether it's like try to burn a fucking flag or it's like message little support. I literally sent like I wrote up a paragraph saying why we should be included in this KVK, and I included screenshots of like all the kings of the other kingdoms we registered with saying we want to fight 2d4, put them in the KVK or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I got everyone in our kingdom and those kingdoms to send it to their support reps to say, like, get them in the KVK. Obviously, it didn't work because they've never done that in their lives, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, that was a last-ditch effort. But anyway, we waited for 365, and then 846 obviously joined in at the end. Man, that Diplo was weird. Not gonna lie. It was me essentially trying to tell them how fucking dead we are, and then them thinking that I'm gaslighting them into thinking that like we wanted a free win. When in reality, SW had like 80 people. Like I'm like Night King, bro. Wait, is there anyone?
He blocked you, man.
I legit, dude. Before that KVK, I was messaging Night King. I'm like, bro, please, like, register KVK. Like, when are you registering? And then I go to like follow up with. I'm like, yo, like, let me know when you guys are registering. And he's like, I gotta talk to like JST guys, and then I'll let you know. And I'm like, okay. And a couple days later, I message him. I'm like, so, what are your plans for KVK? And then it comes with like, it pops up as like red text, and it's like this user has either blocked you or you don't share a server with them. And I'm like.
Oh my god, yeah, this guy
I'm
has
like,
this
damn.
guy has no Diplo riz, bro. It's like-
I'm like, fuck, bro. But yeah, we ended up getting into KVK. And then like again, like I'm literally trying to like they're thinking that I'm gaslighting them into thinking we're dead. It literally came to it where I had to send them the Google sheet of our roster. It was literally the roster that I used. Of showing like all the accounts and like how many we have on the list.
Yeah.
It included all the gov IDs as well. Like they could have easily gone and checked for inactive accounts and stuff, but it was literally like 80. I think it was 84 people or 83 people on the list. But yeah, SW was looking very rough. So we went into that KVK. SW had like 80 people. I don't know. Like, I think another thing I missed out on. Like leading to the downfall of 254 is there was a lot of drama that happened between the leadership like of different alliances within 254 at that time. I think a lot of it was due to just like different experiences of leading. Like they're very conflicting. Like the
Mhm.
way that it was it was mostly between HMB and TR, and I think it was mostly because of like the leadership, like the way of leading was a lot different. Between the two groups, like in their style of leading, and a lot of it was due to like when you don't have someone to fight, you tend to just fight yourselves.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so there was a lot of like pent up anger. A lot of it was really, released between each other. There was a lot of arguments, a lot of like, it was a lot. Okay. I think after all that, it was pretty much guaranteed. I think because of the drama is what caused Bunny and like me and like a lot of the like R5s to quit, because I think one of the biggest things for the like actual downfall of 254 is like the three main R5s of all the alliances quit. It was Tiff pretty much said she was quitting, and she was like the like quote unquote R5 of Q7. I said I was quitting, and Bunny said he was quitting. So I think a lot of it was just due to like no one could be fucked anymore, really, with like what happened over those 11 months. Yeah, I don't know. It was a very hard time in terms of like leadership and like a lot of mental booming going on.
Yeah.
I don't want to go like specifically what happened, but just know that there was a lot of drama.
Which was kind of caused due to, as you said, like you have to fight something.
It was well,
there's like a mix of like, but that was like the spark of what made it worse. There's like something lingering there, but then okay, I gotcha.
Like I definitely think that like there was obviously like I'm not going to say the conflict was born from nothing. Like I was there pretty much. Like I like me personally, I tried to stay quite neutral in terms of like what was happening. Like someone had to be, like can we stop arguing? Can we like focus on like what is happening as KVK Reg and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And I think I kept that neutral stance pretty well. But yeah, I don't know, man. It was just a lot, and I think like the kingdom itself, like there was some rumor that 254 died over an MGE. Like no, 254 did not die over a fucking MGE. Like, are you stupid? That was just some small like drama with. Was it a title bot? It was a title bot, wasn't it?
Title bot bug or
Yes,
something.
it was a title bot bug. And the funny thing, like, the funny thing is about that, like, I've seen that happen. I went to that Discord, like the Titlebot Discord, and a lot of people were complaining about that specific bug, and that was recently because I was recommending it to someone. But anyway, yeah, it was just a lot of factors that contributed to the death of 2D4. But I think the main ones were, first of all, we got complete. I don't wait. Did we get completely smacked? I feel like we did fine.
You guys did.
We did.
I mean,
okay.
against 365 in the zone on the left, to be honest, I feel like we did pretty good.
We did pretty good. I actually think we would have had a much better chance if we had, if we actually committed to that left side, because we could have gotten a lot of those building.
I mean, there was a lot of territory errors and whatever else that happened that made it harder too. But
yep, and yeah,
all in all,
Kingsland
I
was
mean,
terrible.
like, I can't speak on it as well as Ruz can, because obviously I was quit for a lot of the time in 1254. But like he said earlier as well, like when you don't have a fight for that long, like you just go crazy, right? And you just find any little thing to argue about with each other, and it just turns into a really, really bad situation really, really quick. And like we couldn't recruit for so long, and obviously players falling off, quitting in every alliance, and yeah, I mean altogether just a really bad situation and a recipe for disaster for any kingdom. I think, to be honest,
for disaster. Yeah,
like I don't think any kingdom would have survived what 1254 went through. So I don't think that's unique to 1254 or anything specific there.
When you're not allowed to play the game, then you quit the game and problems happen and all that kind of stuff. And KVK is that main game type that people look forward to. Like that's kind of the bread and butter. The whole gameplay loop of collecting, gathering, of powering up your gear and commanders is to win these KVKs. And when you don't even have a KVK, that I can imagine it's really tough.
Yeah, I mean, especially like with 254, like the players in there are like, I don't know, it might be a little bit like egotistic to say, but I feel like 254 at that point had like probably the most amount of like really like fuck it, we go all out type of players. Like first of all, the 556 group I think were really good. Like man, those 556 guys, I miss them, man. Like
Those
guys were
556
ghosts.
KVKs were so fun, man.
They literally ran it down into what like Goodfather would literally just keep sending in the field over and over again for 3 KVK straight. And in terms of power, he started off at like 600 million. I think he was like 680 million at the start of the first KVK with us. And then by the end of the third one, he literally went into the KVK at like, man, it was like fucking 100 and like something. I don't know. But he legit ran it down into us. Like troops wise and on the field. And like all of them.
They were a ton of fun, man.
Those were good. Those guys
was a ton of fun.
Like, yeah, like, and sure we called them shit, like, because realistically, like, man, they were fucking
I mean,
dumb.
it was trash talk.
They were complete dog shit. But like, when it came down to like fucking, going crazy, like they did it, man, and that was fun. It was really funny because like you trash talk these guys for like over a year, and then they suddenly migrate.
And then they disappear.
And you're like,
no, but it was so sad when they were gone, man, and we had to fight all these other kingdoms, and they weren't nearly as fun as 556. And we're like, wait, where did these guys go? We missed them.
Absolutely. But yeah, I miss those 556 guys. They're my goats. But yeah, I mean, wait, did I miss anything with 254? Anyone want to ask anything about 254? I'll clear it up now. I'd rather do it now than at the end.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was it. I don't know. I think overall, the move to 254 was definitely a positive. But if I could go back, I would make a lot of different decisions.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I think what happened there would have killed any kingdom.
Yeah,
and
I think it
obviously, like, it looked ugly, but like, it's what happens when you can't play the game and you can't fight. You have nothing but to like pick on every little small thing that happens within your own kingdom, because you don't have other people to fight. You don't have anyone to trash talk or whatever, right? So, like, I don't think any kingdom would have survived what 1254 went through, or even did, to be honest, as good as we did in the last KVK in 1254. Considering everything the kingdom went through before that KVK.
I missed something massive. Okay, there was another big thing that... Okay, it was like the 13th reason for like the actual fucking death of
13th reason.
Wow. You had to pick
is that
huh?
No, but is that bad to say, like the 13th reason why? I don't feel like it's that bad.
No, well,
it's not that bad.
Reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm making the 13th reason why like series joke. Okay, anyway, the like final straw...
Okay. Sure.
Was what happened mid KVK. It was legit before pass opening.
I talk about the migration thing announcement.
Yeah, it was the migration announcement. So obviously SW, like at that point there was so much drama that like HMB leadership, SW leadership was like, we've had enough of it. We're just dipping like after this KVK, and like I'm not going to take any sides on this for like the timing or like did it like kill morale and stuff like that, but it happened. Okay, it happened before pass opening, and a lot of people were angry about it, and obviously like Cortex aside, like he had his reasons for doing it at that time, and like essentially that's what like drew the final straw. Like I'm sure everyone's heard of like that is by the way, I'm talking about Lithium Sam's question, and that's what Bunny brought up on the podcast, like on Redstream, about Chiz and Chad, mostly. That's why a lot of people like at that time were like blaming Chad and Chiz for that because of the announcement for them to move. But yeah, essentially, like migration announcement happened before a pass opening, and it caught a lot of backfire. Like, let's just say that.
Yeah.
So that was essentially the final straw. That's like first of all, like fuck it, we're getting out, and the other side is like fuck it, you guys need to like be gone, and whatever. It was what pass was that before? Was that before the first opening? No, it wasn't before the first one.
I think it was.
Yeah,
7.
I think it was 7. That was before the pass opening when 846 entered the zone with us, I think. Or did they always have access to the zone? I don't remember.
No.
First big fight. Okay, yeah, it was the first pass opening. Yeah. So you can imagine how like it was a bit awkward,
especially if like your player, like a normal player, and I mean I'm sure 1254 players were like well connected, but just like a normal player, just like not really knowing the behind the scenes, and then all of a sudden you just see boom, this is a big announcement.
So Look, I at the time, I think a lot like the main argument from like the side was saying like it doesn't actually kill morale, like people will still show up, but I think it became pretty clear like when it came to like especially Kingsland or like the Sanctuary fights, like people just stop showing up, and I think it's because like one, people just give up, they'd rather just quit and like sell the account, whatever, and two, they like the other side's holding resources, like there's no reason to burn all the resources, burn the speed ups, like I'm gonna migrate anyway. So I definitely think it had an effect. So to say it didn't have an effect would be wrong, but it definitely had an effect. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I remember that KVK being crazy. Um, and yeah, a bunch of drama coming from that KVK, and it's a shame because that was the KVK that you guys needed like multiple months prior, right? Like I feel like if that KVK,
no, we needed that KVK like at least a year before. Yeah, that if we had that KVK instead of the 2K KVK after we had that big migration, I think we would have been in such a good spot. Like we would be where 1093 is right now. We'd have 4 alliances. We're all like the player retention is really high, and we'd have consistent migrations and stuff like that. Like of course we'd probably like downsize maybe down to 3 alliances. I'm not sure how we do that, but yeah, I definitely think if we had that KVK a lot before, then it would have been great because that big like I actually think 254 at that point was the strongest kingdom in the game, and you get like so feel free to debate me, but like the 254 players like at that time, like when we got that big migration, I think we were so set. But obviously, like
just gonna use it.
you know,
Just gonna use it literally.
There's a reason 365 and 846 didn't wanted to ally as well in that KVK even after so much time of inactivity.
Yeah, exactly. Because like looking at it from paper, like because we would be so stacked, and you know, like we had all those players, and we had really high stats at that point, but it was a bit fake because of our.
And I just noticed Fleisch is here. What's up, Fleisch? A lot of questions in the chat. I'll let you guys pick whichever questions you wanna.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not like. There's a lot like there's back and forth in there already. I can see like I don't want any drama to happen. Like that's obviously in the past. Like I feel like we should just like this should just be more of a remembrance of 254 and like clearing up what actually happened. I feel like.
And
but
yeah, because people are saying that it caused like Bunny and stuff to quit, but I mean Bunny's like not publicly but said before the KVK was quitting either way. So
yeah, but
there's a lot of misconceptions I guess that came out of all of it too.
Yeah, exactly. Like people are saying that we like the announcement made Bunny quit, and like 254 dying made Bunny quit. Like no, that's not the reason. Like me, Bunny, Tiff, we all talked beforehand, and we all said we were quitting. Like we are all pretty much saying that this is going to be our last KVK no matter what. That was already established before everything.
Yeah, that was the 13th reason why, not the reason why. There was already a million reasons why before that. But and then it is what it is.
I guess like.
Oh yeah.
The biggest thing too, like there's no point of arguing who is right, who is wrong, because there's definitely gray areas on both sides, right? Like that's the thing about. I mean, I don't know the situation in detail, but I'm gonna guess like if like so they said this, they said that, like both sides said things.
Both sides have their own.
So
like,
they
have their own point of view.
There's no point of like arguing like, oh, this guy was wrong, this guy was right, because there were sides that are both right and wrong in different ways. So
yeah. I mean, like 254 per se is like the 254. Like at that point, like you just blame Ruz. Like that was essentially the consensus.
Were you like the person that
you
dove on the grenade? You dove on the grenade, retired in a glorious fire. You're like,
At that point, you just blame me.
I mean, all of it was his fault though. Like he registered for that KVK when he was sleeping, and then ruined the kingdom.
Like, it's actually so funny that
it was so funny. I remember you were getting blamed for that KVK.
Dude, you know, they were, like I was looking through Facebook like that day because like who wouldn't, right? And like all these people were saying like, wow, like Ruz fucking killed 254 registering for the shit KVK. And like I'm like, bro, I was asleep, man. I woke up and found the news out like you guys. Like damn. But like I really like. I hope the 254 players know that I legit tried so hard, like, to keep that kingdom alive. Like, whether it's, like, you know, trying to, like, sort out the drama or trying to get a KVK match, and, like, I was literally on my knees to every kingdom in the top 50 of the fucking rankings at that point. Like, I had messaged literally every kingdom in the top 50 power rankings to get a KVK match set that wasn't in the KVK. Like, I was desperate, but, yeah. Anyway, let me No, Raven. I'm dead serious. People actually thought it was my fault. Like,
Oh, Raven,
Oh.
how you doing, man?
bro, there were so many people. Like, I definitely like I had a conversation with
Oh no.
We got
no,
Redline in
not
here
Redline.
too.
Oh,
Oh no.
someone asked earlier when I was explaining, like, do you miss playing with Redline? Fuck no, man. Dude, the last time we played with this guy, it was at that peak pass opening. I told this guy, don't pull out that fucking Trajan Milan. What do we see at the pass?
No, it was Trajan
Milan.
Honda, man. It
No,
was
it's Trajan Honda. You're right, man.
That was
We
the one.
fucking.
Bro,
Me
we
and Cortex
killed him,
were on
man.
voice.
Did he?
Yeah, we were on voice and
Booty
we
guy.
saw this guy's fucking stupid Trajan walking around. And we're like, bro, we can't be letting this guy, we can't be letting this guy slide. We dropped wait, did we drop tags or were we in another coalition? I don't remember.
No,
Oh,
we
is
were
that
in
why you
another
swarmed
coalition.
his
Oh yeah, we were in another
marches?
coalition.
Is that
Yes,
why
Yeah.
you
we
swarmed-
killed his ass. We killed his ass. No, but we killed him, and then he saw the reports, and then everyone went in his chat, and they're like,
Yeah, he
they did
thought
it
it
on
was an accident
purpose.
first, and
They
then
did it on
Toro
purpose.
and Whoopi went there and
Those
snitched
fucking
on us.
snitches, man. And this guy he turned up his music, his like fucking emo like rage
Yeah, I
music,
remember.
and then his intro, and then he starts rage maxing Boudica. He starts dueling. Oh
He
my
didn't say
God.
a word for like 15
didn't say-
minutes straight, just started like running it down into us and jamming his hospital over and over and over.
Bro
It was-
gemmed his hospital. Oh my God.
Oh
was
my
funny.
goodness! Yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. No, but I like one of the reasons I really like the move to 254 is because of shit like that. Like I felt like we could have like fun because me and Cortex were talking about this the other day. Like we used to do so much like stupid shit in 1075, but like it would just be us because like we were the only fucking dickheads around. But like once you suddenly go in the kingdom with like 3 alliances full of fucking idiots, then wow, like you know, you got the boys. So like it was pretty fun in terms of that. Like we had our moments. Especially when it came to like war voice and like you know pushing and all the memes we made, like the memes against 556, like oh what was that like? Oh my God, wait, like what was that one line about the murder balls? Like we are bigger or something? I forgot. Maybe one of you guys can remember.
their paper, was it?
Oh, well, their paper was
Well, that was
their
one
paper
thing.
was one. Oh, but fuck.
Uh,
It was we got a copy of the 556 slideshow that they had for war.
oh,
And then they had that one line
what
in
was
there.
it? Oh,
It was
I
like
remember
it's not we
now.
are stronger or something, but it
We
was something
are,
along those
we
lines.
are. Oh, what was it, man?
Yeah, Sean remembers.
Someone surely remembers. There's so many extra
Yeah,
54
come on,
in the chat.
Raven.
Someone
Raven
surely
fucking
remembers.
remember.
We are. It was we are something. I don't remember.
Whatever happened to JWM? I think they got. I mean, they were the biggest kingdom in the game for like 2 months.
Man, they were never good though. They were just.
Yeah, but they were never good. They were kind of like 114K.
inflated.
Yeah.
No, they were what? 114K wasn't that bad. These JWM
Wait, were
was
they?
complete deadweight.
No. I'm talking about 114K, not including S. I'm saying just the alliance, not the kingdom.
No,
'Cause
they were still
that alliance was
better.
trash, man.
Bro, JWM, like I mean, they were
Yeah, okay.
complete deadweights.
JWM was pretty bad. They were terrible.
Y'all are talking
Oh,
about
God.
things before my time. My goodness.
Dude, JWM used to be like that was the time Baba was racing against Maverick for first to a billion power, and he would legit like not kill any troops in KVK just so he could keep his power. Because he didn't do it in one sitting, he did it over like a KVK.
There you
What
go.
was it? We are.
Yeah, dude, it's
all
bothering me
all
now.
I hear
man.
is
I don't
we
remember.
are farmers. Boom, 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 boom. That's all I hear in my head when you
This
say that
guy's
shit.
lost it.
Yeah.
You don't know that commercial? Oh wait, you both of you are not
No,
from
no,
North
no.
America. Yo, where are my North Americans at, bro?
Jeet says you're a jamoke. Damn. Bro, I didn't even like I still plays. Does Jeet still play?
No
Scooby,
way.
man.
I don't think so.
Nah, there's no way. No, Jade William was not
Nah,
good.
they were.
They did
never
not
good.
take hard fights. And they were not
They were just inflated.
they were so inflated. They essentially what is like a good example?
Well, I feel like it was something on M. We are I don't know, man. This is gonna bother me for the rest of the
It was
day.
like we are larger, we are bigger, we are like it was something
We
along
are-
those lines.
I feel like it's something on them. I don't know why.
All right. So, is there any
I think
final
we can move on.
questions? Any final
Oh,
questions
yeah,
about
we're
1254 before?
Yeah, anyone want anything cleared up on 1284?
before we get to these games that I got set up.
what happened that made Wildline and Mr. Hope? I mean, I was good for that, but I heard what happened with the MGs and stuff, and then they just didn't do anything and left, right?
Yeah, they were
basically.
Okay. Look, honestly, the players themselves were fine. No, okay, I'm not talking about in terms of contribution. I'm talking in terms of like personality-wise, like they were fine. But then they had this one fucking idiot translator that like had the biggest ego. So like, imagine you're okay. You know all those like fucking videos of like the rich like kid who has a billionaire father and he like goes around like flexing his like daddy's money. Yeah, that's literally him. Except he had nothing, and he had the biggest ego, and he would be like fucking insulting people, calling like girls in our kingdoms like bad stuff, right? And like other kingdoms and stuff. Yeah, and well, we got sick of his shit. I don't remember if we kicked them. I think we kicked them.
They migrated it out, yeah, that's for sure. I don't know.
Yeah, but we told them to leave, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Period girls, yeah, your period girls. I think we told them to leave. I think the KV, like, they pretty much demanded every MG. Like, they wanted every MG. And I don't remember how they contributed, so I'm not going to comment, but I do remember them having, like, 4 million deads each at one point during some opening. I don't remember when it was, though. Oh, they left.
Wasn't it with Avid and stuff, that translator guy?
Yeah. It was between Avid and him.
So there you go. Ruz is
funny, and Ruz Cortex totally different personality. What's wrong with my personality?
Damn.
Wait, why did you guys chicken out of Cyrus League against 2884? Don't give me lame excuses to fight 846. You can comment on that one.
Well, I mean, to be honest, we weren't well prepared for the fight, and I mean that's our fault. Or for the Osiris fight, I should say. And we sort of underestimated them, and then they made the obelisk play on our obelisk, and the game was basically instantly over.
Yeah. So it's like you tried, but it's just like got fucked so fast.
Like we underestimated them. We didn't plan properly. They made a play on their obelisk. We couldn't retake the obelisk. I kept trying until like they fully captured our obelisk and teleported on our side of the map. And then it was like, okay, we are 100% going to lose, and we have a KVK. KVK was not the reason. We lost the game either way. I'm not saying we could have beat them. We would have lost either way. The game was lost, completely lost.
Yeah, it was lost. Like anyone looking at that can see it's lost. Like it's such a momentum game. Like,
I mean, it's pretty simple, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you laughing at?
The most recent comment. Bro, I don't think people realize that like most of this shit I actually say is satire, but I don't think people understand my sarcasm. But I try to be very upfront with it though. Like half the shit I post on Facebook, I don't know why people take it seriously. I'm literally just fucking taking the piss because I'm bored. But people take it very seriously. Anyway. Wait, do we want to move on and then we can answer a bunch of questions later?
Yeah, we can do it at the end. I think we've covered most of the 1254 stuff now.
Alrighty. So I got this I'm trying this out for the first time. Let me just go ahead and mute my sound here. But I kind of wanted to, when I do these pods, have the guests here because this is the first episode. Again, shout out to you two. Shout out to everyone here for coming to the first episode of the Ploto Pod. We're going to be having these once a week. I still don't have guests for next week, so if your kingdom wants to be a guest, hit me up. But yeah, I kind of wanted to play these games, and I watch a lot of podcasts, like basketball podcasts and all that kind of stuff, and then they have these blind rankings and these kind of games at the end of these podcasts, and I kind of wanted to do a similar thing. So the first thing that we are going to be doing is, let me just open it up real quick, is we are going to be blind ranking Imperium kingdoms. So
oh jeez.
If you don't know what blind rankings are, is I give Ruz and Cortex a random kingdom. Okay? And then from one of these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you have to put that kingdom in that ranking, and you can't change it. As soon as you put it inside of that ranking, it doesn't change. So you guys,
wait, do we have to agree on it, or is it individual?
No, it's you both have to talk about it.
Okay.
And give your reasoning too. Like give like
okay, this is fun.
Have a back and forth about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I
And,
like it. I like it.
and this is going to be current. This is not like peak.
current.
So it's just
Okay.
5 random
It's not
Imperiums,
peak.
right? Like it's not.
It just,
Oh, but man, these king bro.
Is it just like it can be anyone, right? Like it's not like guaranteed that 93 and 960 and stuff.
yeah,
will be in
yeah.
there,
It's
right?
not
It can be
guaranteed that
anyone.
those kingdoms
Okay,
are going to
okay,
be
okay.
there. Yeah.
Bro, this
It's
is
just,
probably got the most
but-
random
Okay, okay.
fucking.
I will
kingdoms
say,
on
I
there.
will say, they are known Imperiums. How about that? Like they're the kingdoms,
okay.
the kingdoms that you know. It's not like some random Imperium that we've never seen before. So you got it.
Yeah. Let's go.
Alrighty. So the first kingdom that we got here, and we're starting off with a simple one, a very well-known one, 960.
So this one is I mean, it's either 1 or 2, right?
Wait. Are we talking about like in terms of like how strong they are, or like our like what we think of them?
Blind rankings. You just rank them.
Yeah,
No,
like
but,
the
like,
strongest
rank-
kingdoms.
Like
Yeah.
strongest? Like rank? Are we ranking by strongest?
Yeah,
or are we
yeah.
ranking
Let's
by,
do
like...
that. Let's
Okay,
do that.
my strongest. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
it's
was
either
like-
1 or 2, right? But the question is 1093 in here? In my opinion.
Nah, there's no way there's gonna be. Let's just put it at 1. I reckon.
Yeah, let's just put them 1. I think that's safe.
Okay. There you go.
Because even if we put them 1 and 93 too, it's alright. So
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Wow, that is some
put them number
insane
1.
moving graphics.
960s at number 1. Okay, so this is going to be Kingdom number 2. 2377.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh.
I don't even.
Oof.
I mean, is that what's it called? Is that where One Lion and Mr. Hope
yeah.
is?
Yep.
I kind
Oh,
of
it
want to
is?
put them at like 4 or 5, maybe. But it's.
Look,
I don't know if I want to put them 5 though, because there's a chance of some.
no, but I actually don't think they're very good though. But who the fuck
Dude.
else is this guy gonna show us though? That's the problem.
Maybe. This is. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just put them 5, maybe.
No, I don't. No, I don't think 5. Like I
4?
reckon they're gonna. I think 4. I think 4.
Okay, fine. Let's
Yeah.
put them 4. Then we have room to put someone under.
All right.
Yeah, that's probably
Are you
fine.
sure? All right.
Yep.
2377
Oh, no.
going fourth.
Yeah, 4. I reckon. Yeah, I think 4 is good.
Alrighty.
Surely there's nothing worse than that.
Okay.
like-
The next kingdom is 1365.
Whoa,
Oh,
current? Oh,
Well, it's either 2 or 3, right?
I mean, I think we just put
Look,
them 3, right?
No, unironically, I think it's 2. Because you
But
have
what
to
if-
think about it.
No, but okay.
who's gonna be better than 3?
Who's better? 93. But are 93 here? Yes or no?
No.
We don't know.
I
Who
mean,
else,
but
though?
it doesn't matter. It's fucked anyway. Okay,
Who
let me
else
let me
is-
think. It's 93. It's 2489. There's like
Hmm.
842, 2420. Oh, better. Wait, sorry. Yeah, I think 2429, 2489, and 93. I don't think 846 is worse. I don't
So
know
do
about-
we think 2489 or 93 is in here?
Fuck.
Yo, I'm definitely keeping these games. This is so fucking fun to
This
listen
is
I
to.
don't
good.
think-
I like it.
I don't think. Okay, I don't think 93. Oh, but I think 2489 is gonna be on here probably. Knowing this little.
Do we
rat.
just put them 3?
No, I think put them at 2, dudes. Don't risk it.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think 2.
Okay, fine. Put
Yeah,
them
I think 2.
Put them 2.
Yeah,
Alright.
2,
Put
2.
them 2.
Oh,
I can-
100% Facebook is gonna
Oh
take this out of
no!
context.
Please
Dude,
no
Facebook is gonna
93 or 2489.
Bro, can you imagine this 1093?
Yeah, this
with them at
screenshot
third
when
place?
this is done, and then 1093 and 50.
Yeah, and then our fucking
He's gonna do
dumbass.
it. I know they're gonna be last.
No, but
It's gonna be
the problem
93
is
last.
It's our stupid avatars on the left, so they're gonna know.
Yeah,
it's
I
us.
know. That's what I'm saying. This screenshot when it's done.
Nah, yeah, don't worry. It says blind rankings though, so if you know, you
Look,
know.
it's
Yeah,
24.
they're gonna blur that out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
This
next.
is the fourth kingdom. 2429. 2489 rather.
Oh my God, man,
I
you
told you,
fucking-
man. Put them 3. Okay, well, put them 3 then. I mean,
yeah,
it's
just put them
whatever.
3.
All right.
Oh no, it's gonna be 93 now, isn't it? It's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's gonna be
93 in
93.
5th place.
All right.
You gotta make them smaller, man.
Yeah,
That's just getting whack.
wait. I told you.
That's crazy.
Oh no.
Look, honestly,
This
it's
is a
controversial,
disaster.
but it's fine. It's controversial,
Please
it's fine.
don't be 93.
All
Bro,
right.
365 is crazy.
Wait, did you have these kingdoms like prepared before, or are you just making shit up on the fly and making us look stupid? Because that could also be happening.
No. I had them prepared before. I had it all
Okay.
prepared
Nah.
before. I did 100%.
No.
All right, ready? Last kingdom.
Yeah, go.
Oh, the 93.
Nah, it's gonna be 1079.
1001.
Oh,
my- okay,
okay.
1001.
Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. The list is alright.
Damn, I should have put.
Dude, the list
I
is
should have
actually
put
pretty good.
1093 at the end, bro. Oh, I thought you were gonna put. 962nd for sure, bro.
No. There's no way you put both. There's no
Okay,
way.
that list is actually pretty good.
All right, there
I'll
you go.
take that. Bro, put that shit on Facebook, bro. I'll own that shit.
Oh man, well that was the first iteration of blind rankings. If you were to change anything in this list, what would you change?
I mean, you just swapped 2 and 3, right? Like,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't honestly know like exactly 1365's current strength, so
oh, I mean,
I don't know. I think it's alright.
Dude,
Like I don't know
honestly,
if I'd even swap them.
dude, I don't even think it's wrong.
Because
actually.
2049 downsized too, so
Yeah,
I
because
don't
they're one
know if
alliance
it's...
now. No, but
Yeah,
they're a
so
pretty strong one alliance. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
I mean the list is pretty good, I think. So I
Yeah,
think
it's good.
alright.
It's good actually. It's good.
Alrighty.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
All right, there you go. That is.
Alright, is it the Smash or Pass tier list now?
You guys really wanted to smash or pass tier list.
Yo,
really
Cortex,
bad.
do you want to do a Commander Smash or Pass tier list?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that'll have to
Bro,
be. That would have
Let's
to
do
be. That would have to be
Bro,
a different,
come on,
different
surely.
video. I don't have a smash or
On
pass tier
different
list.
platform.
I don't have a smash or pass tier list ready for you guys. That's the thing.
Wait, I'll get one, bro. Don't worry about it.
No, but I do.
Okay.
I do have a tier list though. I do have a tier list,
Okay.
and this is going to be the second game here. And I don't have a title for it, but it is going to be Open Field Commander tier list from your perspective. This isn't going to be blind
oh boy.
rankings. It's going to be, so we have a tier list chart here. It is from S rank all the way to F rank. S rank being the best,
Oh,
F rank
jeez.
being the least. And I have a set of 12 to 13 commanders. I forgot how much I put in there.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought you were going to do
okay.
every commander.
no. We're just going to
Yeah,
do
Let's roll.
12 to 13 commanders, starting with infantry with Yuche. Where would you put
Does
Yuche?
left- Yeah, S for
S,
sure. Does
S,
left or
S,
right
S.
matter?
No.
Yeah, we can like sort
We
it. I
could,
guess.
we could
Yeah,
sort it,
whatever.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's do
Yeah,
that.
just put him as first place for
Yeah,
now.
S.
S? Okay.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Yuche, hardcore S rank.
No, unironically, I think he's going to stay like the top of S. I think he's the best commander in the game.
Okay, there you go.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Second commander, Guan Yu, old classic, but
Oh,
I think
okay,
he's an A now, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he's A. He's definitely not S. I was debating B, but I was thinking
Yeah,
like, what else?
I don't think
what
he's
else
B though.
could be A?
Because of the silence is still like super
Yeah,
valuable.
Silence is too good. It's definitely A.
okay.
Yeah, I think A.
There you go. We'll put Guan Yu in A tier. Okay. Another classic. We got
Oh god.
Alexander the Great.
Mm,
I think-
I'm between B and C.
Hmm. See, my only thing right now is because Liu Alex is probably better than running a Guan March. You see what I'm trying to say?
Mm, well, if you're running one inf, you'd run Scipio.
No. But like, if you don't have Scipio, like, let's say you had
Well, why
Alex, like
wouldn't
you
have
had these.
Scipio? No, but I mean, it's not. This is if you have everything. Like, is he better? Like, yes or no?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. I think B because I don't think he's
Probably
terrible.
B.
I think.
No, he's not
utility's pretty
terrible.
good.
He's alright.
Definitely B.
B
He's not
tier.
A though. He's still it's just too
Cheeseburgering
squishy.
tier, S tier. Anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, we ain't messing with the cheeseburger, man.
Alright, CPO Prime. Where would you put CPO?
I mean, it has to be S, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
is it-
S after Liu? Yeah, has to be.
yeah. It has to be. He's too good, actually.
Damn, 2 Inf Commanders in S tier. I mean, yeah,
I mean,
CPO,
in my
CPO is
eyes,
crazy.
I see 4. Like, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's just 4 commanders in S. No.
I think. Yeah, no, I don't know. Okay, we'll get there.
We'll see.
I mean, I can
guess.
think of 2 more already,
Yeah.
Alright.
just in archers.
And we have
Well, yeah, I'm
Gorgo.
thinking Zugain.
We have Gorgo. Where
Or
would you put
open
Gorgo?
field?
Open field, yeah.
Oh, open field. A,
I mean,
no?
I think she's A, probably. Yeah,
A
probably
tier?
A.
I think
Interesting.
below Guan, unironically.
Yeah, below Guan in terms of utility.
Yeah.
But she, I mean, if you're using her though, you have to pair her with Liu. I mean, that's the only synergy that exists really.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's literally the only one. So that's why I
Yeah.
think it's not S.
Gotcha.
Damn,
Okay.
you gotta work on the sizings, man.
Hey, yo, I made this 30 minutes for the stream.
Yo, I rate it. I rate it.
Alrighty, so now we are going into the archers here, with Ashur Banapal for open field.
I think
Ash? I think A, right?
He's really good. I think A, top of A for now, probably.
A.
Top of A.
He's very good.
Top of A, so
Yeah.
man. I have to.
Yeah.
You gotta drag him. I mean, I can already.
If it's too much effort, just put them in there.
It's too much. Just put him in there. Yeah.
Right.
Look at your little boomer fingers go. Look, I can already tell you should probably move Guan and Thing down even more.
Oh my god.
It's okay. We'll give him more work when we get there.
Wait. Give me a sec. Ashur, move. There you go.
No, but
I did it.
Below Guan's not crazy though, because like, what is Gorgo actually giving you outside of a Liu Gorgo pairing that Guan like doesn't give you? Like Guan is like unironically like standalone better, because it's, like his silence is just like, bro, and damage.
Okay.
Alrighty. What do you think
Oh, that was
about
nice.
this next commander, YSG?
Oh, with Relic?
Probably. Same as Alex, I'd say same tier now. I mean, between A and B, I'm stuck. Like, I think he's above Alex, but I don't know if he's quite A, anymore.
No, but is YSG really worse than Gorgo though? Like, if you're talking just the commander with Relic.
I think so.
Really?
No, yeah. I mean, you have so many options for archers now. That's the issue. When you have Asher now, Herman, like.
Oh, I mean, like if you're talking about like relativity, then yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
Probably.
like before, yeah, obviously, but like now, like, do you pick him over Asher? No. Do you pick him over Herman? No. Do you pick him over Zuge? No.
Yeah,
Do you pick him over Burika? No.
Yeah, B.
Okay. YSG in the B tier.
I feel like a lot of the commanders that are just bringing like just upfront damage are just getting so outscaled because
yeah, the upfront damage ones, because I mean it's just power creep, right? So like for commanders to like stay relevant for this long, you have to be someone like Guan, right? That has a very unique skill with an AoE silence that no other commander in the game has had since, right?
Yeah,
like all they'd have to do is release another AoE silencing commander, and Guan would probably instantly fade out, right? So yeah.
But like you got someone like Scipio with utility and damage. It's like why even run like just an upfront damage?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
It's fine for YSG.
The next archer commander is Zhuge Liang.
S tier.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Would you say above Scipio?
Yeah, above Scipio, I think. I don't know if he's above Liu.
No, I don't think above Liu.
No, probably not.
If you're talking about versatility, then you could probably say above Liu. But I think like just the commander is probably just below Liu.
Yeah, Liu has so much damage. So much damage.
Alrighty, so we'll keep him there for now. Herman Prime.
I think Herman is the best open field commander in the game, in my opinion.
You think he is?
Yeah.
I think in terms of like because the way I look at it, they're both the top two in my eyes, right? But like Liu brings more. Actually, the problem is Herman just does so much damage, man. Like
he does, and man, those poison stacks are ridiculous.
Like,
and like when you have multiple people on your ball doing it too, like you literally stack a March to 15 so fast, and like I mean, I think he's the best open field.
Yeah, I think above Liu. Because if you're looking at like a lone standpoint, then I think Liu's better. But like when you consider like a murder ball, and especially if there's multiple, like Herman's way too broken.
Okay, so
he's too good. He's literally game changing for big murder balls. Yeah. Like he is insane. Because when you think about it, Liu provides zero utility, right? All he is damage.
Yeah, it's just damage, exactly. But Herman like trades probably like equally as good on the field.
But yeah,
but who the fuck slows? Hello.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, but you can cheeseburger with him.
You could. That's utility.
Oh! Don't pull the whole bracket out, man.
Yeah, I'm trying.
He's struggling.
You should have just streamed the tier list website.
I really should have. I thought OBS would be a lot more responsive, but the fact that I have like a million pictures on OBS at the same time, I feel like it's super laggy.
All right.
So. All right, there you go. Now we are at the cavalry commanders, we have
All enough.
the old classic Nevsky.
I think Nevsky's. I mean, Nevsky's still like. I don't think he's B, but I think he's A.
good. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
B, bro. I was thinking between A
Yeah.
and S.
Oh no, I
Not
don't.
B.
I don't think he's S though.
No, I don't, because he has no AOE, right? I think that's
Yeah, he's single
where he's
target. That's the
lacking.
problem with him.
I think he's A. I think he's
But
A.
who is he like?
I
like,
think
he's definitely worse than
probably-
Asher.
Yeah, I think he's. Is he better than Guan? I think he's maybe
Yeah,
better
he's
than
better
Guan.
than Guan.
I think yeah.
He's better
yeah.
than Guan.
I think he's under Asher over
Especially
Guan.
because of the pairings. Like Cav, like 2 March Cav commanders are just. It's just so strong because you can't go wrong.
Alrighty. So let me go ahead and downsize them.
Downsizing.
Put them into that. There you go. Oof. I'm getting used to it. Alright. The second Cav commander is Joan of Arc Prime.
Oh,
I mean,
Dude,
I think
Joan is
she's
very
probably bottom S for now, in my opinion.
you think
Right.
S?
I think so.
Because I'm trying to think of like, I guess what she does for Cavs is equal to what like the other commanders do for their troop type, right? I definitely think Joan is
Well,
the
she
best.
doesn't have debuff. She buffs the rage of your commanders and has double
That's what-
proc and
But that's
AoE
why I'm
big
thinking
damage.
like top of A though. Like I'm thinking above Asher.
I
don't
think she's S tier though, to be honest. Like I
Does it
think
matter who she's, like-
just slightly below CPO. Like I don't think she's that far.
Yeah,
behind
actually, I
in
don't think
reality.
she's. Yeah, when compared to Scipio, I don't think it's too bad.
Yeah, I think put her bottom
but-
S for now.
But
In my
does Scipio compare to like Kazuge, Liu, and Herman? I feel like there's still
I
quite a gap.
mean, because he has an AoE health debuff, he's the only one in the game with that debuff
Yeah.
that makes him strong, and he has really high damage.
Alright, yeah, bottom of S. I'm down.
Alrighty.
Because when you think of the other Cav commanders, like you're not gonna put Quo S, you're not gonna put like XYS as well.
Hey, don't spoil, man.
Yeah, no spoilers with the
Shit,
Hua
shit,
Kibing.
man.
Where are you gonna put Hua
Shit,
Kibing
so-
then?
Hoi, man.
Oh, there he is.
Oh.
I struggle with this guy. I think he's really good, like single target damage dealer. He's insane. Like probably the best. The best single target
He-
damage dealer in the game.
Bro, I'm just racist against these like single target damage dealers, honestly. Because when like commanders come out with
Whoa,
like, so
you're
much
gonna get
A-
clipped out of context, bro.
Yeah.
Just cut.
I'm not media trained. I'm not media trained. I'm not media trained. But yeah, I think like because when I look at Herman, I just think like how is this in the game, right? But like every commander that comes out will be like a Herman
Mhm.
because it's like AoE fucking debuffs, so much AoE damage. Like when he came out and like he had that much utility, I did not think he'd be doing as much damage as like he's doing now. Like I don't know if it's because it's with Zuge, but I don't know. It's broken.
You think he's
But-
S? I don't know.
No, I don't think he's S. Oh, but is he?
He's a lot of damage, like, and lower rage requirement. And he has resets that, I don't know. His expertise is kind of wonky. I think that's like what holds him a bit back, to be honest. Like with the resets
Yeah.
and resetting your rage bar and all that stuff.
I feel like there should be
Like-
no situation where there's a question if you should get the expertise or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like-
Yeah.
right. Where like people shouldn't be speculating whether you should actually unlock the expertise of a commander or not. Like I feel like that's a big like error they made with that commander.
Mhm.
Like I feel like you shouldn't be punished in any way for upgrading a skill, right?
Yeah, 100%. The only other commander I could think that has something similar is like people were talking about with what's his
Marty.
name? Double C? Like people
Yeah,
are
so
like,
double
expertise
C,
reduces
yeah,
your
yeah.
defense.
Yeah, I forgot
And
about that guy.
RD buffs enemy
Yeah,
enemy
you,
skill
you,
damage dealt.
you only want to do what's it called? No, but also the silence as well. Like you don't want to level RD past like 5510 because you just like at that fourth skill.
Well,
at one
unless
is,
you're
like,
maxing
brief.
her.
Yeah, unless you're maxing her. Like unless you can get that fourth skill like to 5, then you shouldn't.
I mean, is it bottom S maybe or top of A or I don't know. Is
I think top of A. I don't think you meet
top of A? Is
But
he even
the
better
thing
than Ash though? I don't know.
Ash brings because you have to think like how much like Ash brings a lot when you run like Boudica Asher. It's like not a bad march.
I think top of A maybe.
Yeah, I
or
think top of A.
or yeah. And I
Because
think it's
all the-
fair to put him A because I don't think he's Like, if we're even discussing if he's above or below Ash, I feel like he shouldn't be S, right?
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah.
What about
No, but I just think like even though he's the best single target commander, like when like the reality he brings to the field, like compared to others, is like.
Yeah, just put him top of
Yeah.
A. I think is fair.
I mean, it's not only the hate Cavs. Like
there's like a
the Cav
debate.
matches themselves are good, but
There's like a debate of what people talk about between Hua and Nevsky. Just going off topic a little bit here while I fix stuff. Like, what do you think of Hua versus Nevsky?
Koi versus Nevsky.
Yeah, like which one people are debating which one's better.
No, I mean, Hua does more damage. Nevsky has a debuff. I mean,
yeah,
they're both
like
really. I think they're
ultimately
quite
you run both.
similar, but yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I'd prefer Hua if I had to pick.
No, yeah. If you're like straight out the gate, you're gonna max one commander. Like you're entering Sock, you should go Hua.
Okay.
What?
Because net.
I Cav commander maybe. Okay.
Oh no, like as a Cav commander, yeah.
Okay.
Not like no. You should get fucking Herman and Liu before anything.
That's like
CPO
screw the
and-
S tier.
Yeah.
Zuge,
Max the Wookiee
Then-
No, but like,
okay.
actually,
I think that's a fine placement for him.
actually, that's a good point on why like the Cavs are low in general though, because like if you're reaching Sock, like are you really gonna invest in this Cav march like over those two? Like not really.
Yeah. Anyway.
Finally,
Yeah.
we
Let
have
me guess, William. I mean, I think he's A, maybe bottom A.
Really, you think bottom? Dude, I actually think he's underrated. Not gonna lie, because
You
think of how
he's
much.
S?
No. But do you think of how much
Or maybe
skill
above
damage?
Gorgo?
The more skill damage that is introduced to the game, the stronger William gets. You have to think about it like that, and like with
Yeah.
armaments,
I
and
mean, yeah,
formations, and all that, and like Civ.
it's like another story of unique debuff, I guess, right?
Exactly. Like he's so strong.
Because his
like,
damage
as power
now
creep.
is like not that good anymore as it used to be, but like he's still really powerful because of his debuff and rage he gives to your and defense he
yeah,
gives
the
to your
range and
allies.
defense.
Well, I don't think
Like,
he's above Nevsky.
No, I don't.
No.
I think he's a. Oh, but is he better than Guan? I think he's better than Guan.
I mean,
Actually, if you're thinking standalone commander, then he's not better than Guan. But if you're thinking like usability, like in marches, like he's gonna fit in a 2-march meta ball for sure. And but you
well,
wouldn't
what do you
really
think
wanna
will
run-
get phased out sooner? I guess would be the question. I mean, I think
I-
William is on the chopping block for Cavs, right? Like he is the next one to go out of the meta
Yeah,
matches,
I think if
suppose.
there's something that comes out,
And the next cycle is Cavs, so like I don't think he'll
Maybe it is
survive in like top meta for very long. But yeah, it's hard. I don't know if he's above or below Gon.
the problem
Maybe.
with him is like because he's a commander that kind like almost matches power creep. Like not exactly, but like he kind of keeps up. Because like as more like skill damage comes in, like from especially from like armaments formation, like he's already just canceling it out. Like it's just so good. But then
Yeah,
again,
I mean,
like
same goes for Gon though,
everything
right?
else.
Because silencing is also more powerful the
then-
more damage the enemy does.
But another thing is like, do you think skill damage reduction is going to be like cancel out is going to be brought before AoE silence?
Well, that's hard to say. That's really.
Well, let's put
But
it
I
like
guess
this.
also.
Like
You know what?
open
Put
field
him
tier list.
on
Open field tier list right now. Like you don't even need to
Yeah.
think about the future. Just like if you were to, I don't know, put these commanders in a tier list. Like where would you put it?
Well, I feel like actually, yeah, maybe put him above Gon. Because I
Yeah,
feel like
I
also
think
it's
better than
easier
Gon.
to find a replacement from infantry than it is for Cavs. Like, I think you'd struggle to find a good replacement. Because if you're not using William, where do you go? XY? Whereas you have a couple options for inf, right? Like Sargon, even Tarek, and Alex, and that sort of stuff, right? So, yeah, I think probably just put him above Gon and be done with it.
I think above Guan.
Alrighty. There you go. And that
GG.
is
Is that it?
Wait. There you go. And that is the open field tier list that we have for now. So, in order, for an S tier, we have Herman Prime, Liu Che, Zhuge Liang, CPO Prime, and Joan of Arc Prime. A lot of Prime commanders there. We have we have Hua Qibing Ashurbanipal, Nevsky, William, Guan, and Gorgo. In A tier.
Oh, Boudica, dude. You forgot Boudica.
And then in B tier, we have... I did forget about Boudica. Do you want me to add that? Bruh.
No. No, it's fine. It's fine.
No. I got it. And then in B
Oh,
tier, we have
Oh, shit, Boudica.
Alex and YSG. Let me go ahead and add Boudica. What do you think Boudica is in this tier list then? Wait.
Jeez.
The image. Do you see the struggle I have to do with like the images that Rise of Kingdoms gives
Yeah.
us is so large, so I have to like scale it down. But as I'm doing this, let's talk about Boudica. Like you can see Boudica's.
Oh my god.
Wow. Boudica.
I purposely did not put Sargon.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless you want to add someone into the
No.
D / F tier. Yeah, give us your thoughts on Boudica. Like, what are the thoughts?
I mean, it's hard actually.
She's definitely not S, I think.
No.
But we're in A. Like how? Like I think she's doing more than Nevsky, but is she doing more than Asher?
I think she's on a similar power level with Nevsky, to be honest. They both are single target damage, right? They both have a debuff that makes the target take more damage. Nevsky has a defense reduction, she has a skill damage reduction. But also
You know, I think. Yeah, it's hard actually. I think
she's on very similar power level with Nevsky. Maybe
That's interesting.
slightly below.
I think slightly better.
Better than Nevsky?
Yeah, because like think about defense. Like, would you rather a defense debuff or a skill? Like, I just think her kit's better with her what's it called? Her control immunity as well. Because then it like avoids stuff like silence and all that. So like her kit is better for open field, I think, like in general.
And she has skill damage taken reduction as well in her kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
damage. I mean,
she has
skill damage
similar.
reduction as well.
She has similar individual Nevsky damage to Nevsky, and I feel like their debuffs are maybe on par if hers is not slightly better. So yeah, I think just put her above Nevsky, maybe.
Yep. Plus, she has a March speed debuff that'll stack with passives as well, so it's like it's not nothing.
Alrighty, above Nevsky, you said so.
Yeah, I think above Nevsky.
Nevsky, William.
Yeah, but Boudica will never get better trades than Nevsky, but Boudica will be providing more than Nevsky. That's the point of it, though.
Interesting. Yeah, because like I thought that Nevsky is crazy, but I guess when you think about it with the debuffs, I guess I'm kind of biased because my Boudica last KVK traded doggy doo doo.
Better archer gear, man.
I mean, I have the full 6-piece set. I don't know what I already committed.
Go 5 thingy it, man. Awaken, whatever it's called.
Awaken.
Yeah, but I don't think Boudica Asher is that bad. Like I think Boudica Asher is doing really good.
I don't have Asher. That's why I had Boudica YSG was my pair.
Oh well, yeah.
I don't know. I think she could be either above or below Nevsky. I think they're quite similar. But
alrighty. So this is the final tier list. S tier: Herman Prime, Liu Che, Zhuge Liang, Scipio Prime, Joan of Arc Prime. A tier: Huoqi Bing, Ashurbanipal, Boudica Prime, Nevsky, William, Guan, and Gorgo. And then finally in the B tier, we have Alexander the Great and YSG. Is there anything you guys want to change? Is there like any thoughts you have on this tier list?
I think it's alright.
No, it's good.
It's all good.
I mean, people are overhyping Nevsky. I think like he's good, right? But like he's only providing that single target like defense debuff.
I think I'm just biased because Cav commanders are speedy, so like I like the commanders better.
But like, there's a lot of variables when it comes to open field. Like I mean, March speed and like what gets targeted and stuff like that. But you can't always control like are you like especially like slows, right? Like is the person running away from you or are you in a mutable like fist fighting? Then
one thing I'll also say is like there's only one Cav commander in S tier, but the next commander that we are expecting should be a Cav commander, right? So
Right.
Yeah,
Next cycle should be
exactly.
2 Cavs. So
Exactly.
whereas you see like all the new, I guess, new tier commanders are in S, right? It's
Yeah.
Luce, it's Herman.
wait,
It's
actually,
well, obviously.
it's literally like all of the new tier commanders are pretty much there. It's just kind of
Yeah,
funny.
and then Gorgo is in A, Asher is in A, so like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're expected to have 2 new commanders very soon that will probably be really OP and end up in at least one of them in the S tier for open field, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that is it for the games. What you guys think of the? I mean, I definitely for the tier list, I gotta put it in tier list maker or Canva or something because yeah, I don't think OBS is meant to move that many assets at the same time. But yeah, hopefully they were fun. I guess we'll end it off with any viewer questions if anyone has any lingering questions for Ruz or Cortex, and then I'll let them just whenever you answer a question, could you please say the question out loud and then answer would be my request.
Hey, move your Lilaro, man.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh yeah. Whoops. Viewer questions. Boom. Oh my goodness.
Oh Jesus.
Look at those questions. Marks women aware.
Thoughts on 1034 if they'll ever recover? I don't think so.
Yeah. The fall of 1034 was really tragic. Like
They already lost too many of their player base to. Was it 1188 or was it 1818? I don't remember. I think it was 1188.
1188. That's where PLA migrated to. I think they had others migrate to other places. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean their alliance is literally sitting at like 80 people, and it's been like that for like a month now. It's hard to recover from that.
Such a storied kingdom and alliance too. So it's a shame, but it happens.
Do you think the game is moving heavy into siege commanders? I mean, I think they'll keep releasing them, to be honest. But I think they're always going to be like very niche unless they change like the core gameplay of how they work with the setting up and tearing down. And,
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's not really fitting that well into Rock. But they do have their place, a very niche place, and I feel like they'll keep that role unless they change how they work.
Yeah. I mean, the new Cordoba guy seems really strong.
Yeah, he is.
But
really
it's
strong.
the only like the gateway. The problem to that is the amount of investment that you have to put in, right?
Equipment, armaments,
Yeah,
and then the commanders, and for a very, very niche role, right? You're investing so much into gear that you can't use on anything else.
Yeah,
you're investing so much into opening armaments for only that one march, right? That you can't get anything else. Like all you want is siege for it, and that's it. So like the investment is very, very high for what you get, in my opinion, because you get a very, very niche thing. But yeah.
And even when you're using it, like you're not going to be using it all the time. That's the problem. Like, are you just going to set up like what if murder balls like just constantly keep like moving and changing? Like you have to keep resetting up.
Yeah, personally, I think it's only for huge whales that have extra gold heads, extra materials, extra whatever to just make it on the side. Like it shouldn't be anyone's like actual focus to get one of those marches.
Yeah.
I would love to see a full kingdom of like a murder ball of siege commanders and just see how
fragile they are. They just get run through.
I don't know, probably, but like that'd be so hilarious. That'd be just hilarious to see. Like,
do you guys believe Rock would be better off re-releasing instead of just a graphics overhaul? I don't think so.
I mean, like, re-releasing meaning what? Like the resetting accounts and all that? I mean, they can't do that.
Nah,
they can't. That would be not only like killing the game, but also a lot of legal trouble, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Call of Dragons was supposed to be the Rock too, right? So
I think the game needs a graphics overhaul though, and I think that's probably going to be a good change, but yeah.
Yeah.
Why isn't 93 focusing on flags near MX Pass? I don't know. Ask 93.
I mean, they are, but like they've been trying to burn it, but they can't burn it because they have all their big boys there. Like literally the 4 accounts parked around that flag, 5 accounts parked around that flag is Mama, Arvix, Leopard, Sean, and Addy. Like, good luck, man. And then Samak and Genia and Blake are all sitting behind it, like, and Piltong. Yeah, GG, man. They're not breaking that flag. I'm sorry to tell you. Who is the best free-to-play player in the game and why? Is it Taki? Who is Taki?
I don't know. Best free to
Ploto.
play in the game.
She's
Ploto, who's
she's a
Ploto,
member.
yep.
Oh, yeah, I'm the best free to play player. True.
I agree.
Are you asking like who Taki is? Taki's a member of. She's also a content creator, Spanish speaking, in 2068. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no one best player in the game for anything, I feel like. Like, yeah.
I will say though, we had an FTP in 2068 that gained 2.5 billion KP last KVK. So I think that's
Yeah, but you were fighting
kinda
plebs.
crazy. No, wait, you're fighting 2429. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I have my point exactly.
Wow, wait, why are you dissing 2429, man? We're more plebs than that.
Did
Because they
Yoda
flex
quit or just
taking
playing less?
25 dead weight.
So I can go over the Yoda stuff. There's been a lot of, I guess, speculation and stuff going on about Yoda. He had real life health issues a while ago. About 2-3 months ago now, I think it started, and he's been dealing with that for a long time. Last I heard from him, he said he's looking forward to come back to the game and he's very excited to do so. But like, I don't know for certain. He could be quitting. He could not be. I don't know. But he's had real life health issues. Is the short answer.
Yeah, you know what? Peacemaker had the same thing. That's crazy. So.
Would you personally consider rock an addiction? And if so, do you think that is necessarily a bad thing or not? I don't think it's an addiction. I think that, like, what hooks people is, like, playing with, like, other people. Like, you wouldn't consider that an addiction. It's more like part of, like, a routine that you, like, follow. Or, like, it's something that you kind of, like, lean on or, like, you know, lean back to, if that makes sense.
I guess.
Like, I don't know.
I feel like I mean I know some people, like I remember during COVID when like people used to treat rock like an addiction. Like, you know, I knew someone that would set alarms in the middle of their sleep to send out gatherers. You know what I mean? Like at that point, you're.
I don't know if that's like, I feel like rock back then, like during COVID, it was like, I think it was way more competitive between like a lot of more people because the spend wasn't like, the gap wasn't as big as it is now, obviously, right? Like now I think people kind of just accept their fate and they're like, I'll never be able to get to that KP or that dead. It's like, you know, I don't have the gear, I don't have the awaken. But back then, like, I feel like there was so much motivation.
There's hope. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like,
still...
no, but like,
I can still be something. I can.
No, like exactly. Like me and Cortex in 1075, we had like some of the highest KP in the game when KP was like re-released, and we weren't like massive whales. Like I was pretty much almost completely free to play. Cortex spent on tech. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like back then, it felt like more. I don't know. It's more motivation for me because I like to be competitive in games. I think that's one of the reasons why I also like originally quit. Still quit.
And then now you
Gap is about.
You just put that in League of Legends now. That's like your itch.
Yeah, no, but exactly. Like League is the like prime example of that. Like you always, because like unless you're like rank 1 or like your challenger, you always feel the need to prove yourself. Like that, like I can be a rank higher and I deserve to be it. So you just keep playing. And like someone said in chat, like now the gap's only about Crystal Tech people. Like not just. I don't think it's necessarily just Crystal Tech. But it definitely is a big factor. Like, there's only a couple amount of people willing to spend. Like, when I say couple amount of people, I mean a small percentage of the actual like community willing to spend that much to max tech every single KVK.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a big factor.
if you're one of those players, my 2268 migration is up. No, I'm joking.
How are you guys recovering from using 1,000 days of speed ups? Realistically, how much could you recover in one off season? I mean, it depends on the spend level of your alliance, and it depends on. Wait, how do you recover speed ups, Ploto? Like outside of gold chess,
um,
That guy is a freak, man.
like barb chaining.
I barb chain.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
During I barb chain like I don't obviously chain in Home Kingdom, like that's crazy. But when
I mean,
No, you do.
especially
I think
that, like,
no,
that
no
instant barb
way.
thing?
No,
you're
that
doing it
instant
right now.
barb
I
thing?
can hear you clicking around, man.
no, I'm sending my gatherers. Deadass. Trust.
Oh my god.
He's trading right now, man. I already know.
Nah, wait. Wait. My screen. Look, I'm just setting up my gatherers, bro. No chain marches. But anyways,
You just sent it home. 6 out of 7. Look at that. You just sent it home. Good job, man.
no, I'm setting up my gatherers. That's anyways. I guess the
This guy, man.
biggest thing is like being in a spending alliance is huge. But I've been buying the courier station like 70%, 80% for universals and healing. Just making sure actually you get a lot from doing events. Like these random events that pop up, like it stacks up when you for example, like collect 10 runes or kill 15 guardians, like doing those random things. It does stack up.
The short answer is barb chain.
But yeah, barb chaining is pretty big. Like you gain days of speed ups in a couple hours. So.
But if you can't afford to recover 1,000 days of speed ups, then you shouldn't be spending 1,000 days of speed ups in KVK. Like if you're talking about long term like development of your account, like if you're not in a position where you can like consistently field 5 like what T4 marches or like T5 marches, or you're not able to recover that over a KV like a downtime period, then you shouldn't spend that much, and you just need to work on your own pacing, like in terms of KVK.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
it's one of those things. Like, what do you allocate your universals to? Like at the end of the day, there's only two things in the end game, which is training or healing.
Yeah.
So I just personally allocate all of my universals most of my universals to healing, and then my training to training. And
yeah, I mean it's like budgeting, right? Like
yeah.
you set a goal, like a dead goal for yourself. How many troops are you willing to kill off? And then think of how many speed ups it's going to take. We'll use a calculator to figure out how many speed ups it's going to take to recover that amount, like post KVK, and then you have the rest for healing. That's the goal. Or if you're like lower and you want to grow, then set aside more for training.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kingdoms say to zero yourself, but if you're not able to keep up with it, like, are Kingdoms really telling you to zero yourself every single KVK outside of Imperiums? There's no reason to. Like, if there's if there's a big KVK matchup where you're like going all in, then of course you do it. But your Kingdom should also say like we're going to be doing a recovery, or we're going to be, doing a lot of skips afterwards to help recover for that.
Yeah.
Because like only really, well, I mean, even now, like people don't really need to zero themselves apart from like 93 and 960.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah.
Any other questions, guys?
Skips don't help though. I mean, it depends what you do on your skips. Like the thing about skips is you have to make sure that your members actually do stuff in Home Kingdom. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if you're inactive, then you might as well just go into KVK. Like if you're that's why keeping an activity tracker or making sure you're doing your barb forts, all that kind of stuff is super important in Home Kingdom, because then it does actually stack up and help out with in terms of just keeping your speed ups and resources in check. So
Why Liu Gorgo? I mean, just because of the
Synergy.
there's just smite damage synergy.
They both want the same thing. Yeah, they both want normal attack buffs, and they both grant it as well, boosting their smite damage. So yeah.
Oh. Oh, order of the two. I mean, you'd rather have a.
In my test,
attack tree
blue
versus
primary
Jason?
was better. Well, it's attack versus defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think you'd like. You wouldn't really like defense tree on the field.
No, the reason is Gorgo has low rage requirement, but I tested it quite in depth and Liu performed quite a lot better than Gorgo primary, so
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm running it that way.
All right. Rank every one alliance KD. That'll be for a future pod. I'll make that in a. I'll make that in a pod. Put that in the notes.
Burika art or Burika YSG?
KVKs?
Burika art.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you saying, Ruz?
What do you think of recovery KVKs?
Recovery KVKs? I mean, it depends on your kingdom, I guess. Like,
I mean, I
what
usually don't like recovery KVKs at all.
like what is a what consists of a recovery KVK? Because technically, our KVK last KVK was a recovery KVK.
Wait, why was that a recovery KVK?
Like, recovery KVK for us is just going into a map that doesn't require as much fighting as a Siege of Orleans or Strife of the Eight. Like,
oh yeah. No, I agree with that. Like, but the thing is, I think Nile has been designated the recovery KVK mode.
yeah,
So I think as long as like you go into a map like that, and like you're actually focused on recovering, but overall, I don't really like the idea of recovery KVKs. I didn't like it when like the Imperium meta was around it as well. Like, I still don't like it. Like, it ruins the KVK experience of everyone else.
yeah. I mean, at least for us, like, whatever map we go in, we're still gonna fight. But like, recovery KVK is like going into, like you said, a Nile. When we went into our Nile, though, we were Imperium and no one wanted to fight us. So I feel like it was a pretty negative experience for AKD. And then
recovery KVK is when a second domain shows up in your matchmaking. True.
hey, yo, I mean, that
What 3 archers am I running? I'm doing Burika, Artemisia, Azuge with Herman and Ash with Joan because we're in Warriors Unbound, so.
You guys have any other questions you want to answer? Or
Let's see.
How many marches are optimal for an average player? Is it good aspiring to have 5 or solid 3? 5 you need to have like 80, 90 willpower, 3 you need like 70. Wait, how does that make sense? No, 5 marches of T5 is like, let's say you're 330k. No, but they wouldn't be 330k, right?
no, you'd be like, you'd be higher for sure.
380
maybe for like most players.
Oh, like with tech?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, let's just say 400ks.
I mean, you should be aiming for 5 plus
mil.
anyway. Everyone should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're running less than 5 marches in the field and you're like above, like, I'd say like 70, 80 mil power, you're kind of sandbagging your kingdom at that point in the field.
But in terms of like, if you're a new account and you're doing investments,
well, that's a different story.
Yeah. Then you work one commander at a time. Like, don't spread that shit out. Like that is like, there are some commanders that you can get away with, like 5-5-5-1 or 5-5-1. Like, I mean, even 5-5-1-1 nowadays is kind of budget, right?
Yeah.
Like at this point in the game, you're either like 5-5-1-5 or just expertise. I don't have the actual list of commanders, but I'm sure there's some that you can get away with. But yeah, slowly work on them one by one.
Yep.
Do you believe KVK2 migration needs further attention to ensure the growth in population of new players and new kingdoms? No. I think, like, I don't like the idea of people in SOC going back constantly and fighting in KVK2. So I think the cap is completely fine. I think, like, it's fine to get in fresh blood. That's why there's a cap. But KVK 1, 2, and 3 should be a learning experience for your kingdom to, like, organize your structure. And then SOC is when, like, the game really starts for your kingdom. And you should work on building your type of kingdom at that point in the game. Like, I don't think one KVK should determine, like, your kingdom.
If anything, I feel like there shouldn't even be any migration back. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think there should be any migration back, to be honest.
Yeah. Get into SOC, and then from there, like, I don't even know how the first SOC works. Apparently, you're forced to queue for Heroic Anthem. Is that true?
Yeah, you're queued in HA with other kingdoms that just ended SOC with you.
Interesting. Do you think?
Do you think 1093 will be? Oh yeah, you go.
Yeah. Do you think 1093 will be able to stay 4 alliances even if they win?
No, not if they wanna drop Imperium. They can't. It's not sustainable with how low the impline is. Even if they fully zeroed themselves, they wouldn't drop. They would all have to delete down to nothing, basically. And
No,
actually,
they only have to delete 150k per, but that's for like I think 400 to 500 people. And that's the problem with that is that's not, you can't do that every KVK because you're not going to fight a kingdom that's going to make you drop all your like thing and then delete like every KVK like 960 is.
right, it's not sustainable.
No. Yeah, and KVK matchups as well. Plus, like, look at all these other kingdoms just moving to one alliance. Like, there's no way that they can stay 4.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. I think they proved that the 4 alliance obviously is still viable, but you need to have fights. You need, like,
Well, the thing is, you can't build it anymore. They had it from before. I mean, like, you can't build it now if you wanted to, because you can't bring that much into a kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, 4 alliance. It's hard to even
technically
find.
You could if they're all lower power.
Yeah,
But it's like,
but it's hard to find.
You're gonna have everyone full zero and migrate in, and then be stuck in Imperium for the rest of time. It's like, what's the actual goal there?
Yeah,
and it's also hard to find fighters that are willing to stay that low power. Like, what 1093 has now is a lot of selflessness from their players, and even then, it's like, you know, they're barely able to get the kingdom that they're able to get now. Like, it's a lot.
I don't know, like, but do you think all these new kingdoms are just gonna come, like, when they enter SOC, they're gonna look to build one alliance kingdoms? I mean, that's pretty much it now, right? Like, essentially from now, 1093 is gonna be the last like 4 alliance kingdom in the game, like that's ever gonna be built because no one's gonna be building a big alliance.
Like, I don't see the, I guess, attractiveness of building like a larger kingdom, especially now that so many kingdoms are one alliance, right? So like, you don't even feel like you need to have more alliances to really compete.
Yeah,
like you used to before, because like you had like you couldn't field, you know, because you had no players compared to the enemy before, because everyone had so many alliances.
But you know, I actually like that.
I mean, yeah, I think
that means there's more kingdoms in the game to fight. Like if 93 was 4 kingdoms for the 4 alliances, then already like that's so healthy for the game, right?
Right, like I think you probably just look towards building the best alliance you possibly can. It's also easier to manage, it's easier to build up, it's easier to maintain.
Exactly.
Like I don't see the attractiveness of having more alliances.
When you guys were talking about circles or whatever they're called, I'm like, shrines. Yeah, I'm like, oh my, I forgot that used to be drama, because like we're like a 1 alliance KD now, but like, you know, I remember back before KVK1, it's like, oh man, I really want the war shrine.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 2, it's also fight, because there's there's 2 of each. Yeah.
But before KVK1,
but more than that, then it's more. Some alliances will have to sacrifice, and like, I mean, kingdoms aren't built to have more than 2 alliances either. Like in terms of home kingdom territory, like it's built to have 2 main alliances.
Yeah.
In terms of holy sites and all that stuff, like, and also just space, like, yeah.
I think the only reason that we like got to the point of having 4 alliance, 5 alliance kingdoms is because that's just how the game started, and like there was no Imperium system, there was no like cap. And then like kingdoms just had 3-4 alliances, and then there were ways to abuse like the Imperium system, like Imperium cap, and there was still like a ton of other like smaller but big kingdoms that would help like raise the Imperium line, like to help those big kingdoms grow at that time. But now that there's no one, like there's no way that they would ever get to that point again. So the game has just shifted dramatically. It's actually kind of nuts to see that, to be honest. Like thinking back 3 years ago when we had like 20 like decently big kingdoms and like a ton of like really cracked A kingdoms, and now like, you know, everyone's just like 1 alliance. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. What do you think about like 1 alliance KDs though? Like, I feel like that puts kind of, yeah, I don't know. Like it does make it more competitive for the alliances, but at the same time, like it puts a lot of pressure on each member of each alliance to perform. You know what I mean?
Nah, not really though. Not really. Because like if you think back to let's say 4 alliances was 4 alliances, it's the same amount of weight per player that has to show up in order to match the other kingdom. But now if it's like one alliance versus another alliance,
Well, I
you
guess
can make sure that your
like
one alliance is
one
better
player
quality as well.
missing. One player missing is more impactful when you have a one alliance kingdom than if you have 4 alliances, right? Because you have way more players. Like you're missing a larger percentage of your total player base if anyone is missing in a one alliance
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah, but
4 alliance.
the consequence of it is still the same, like the impact, because you would still be fighting against another kingdom with like around the same size.
Yeah, as long as you're fighting similar size, yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, each player has more impact when you are less
I mean,
players
yeah.
in the kingdom, obviously.
Alrighty. I guess that just makes it
What-
so that you're
Why
you're more
is everyone saying
impactful.
1093 has to downsize? If anything, this win would make them even stronger and bigger. They make it work, so more power to them. Although I agree it's difficult to manage. No, that's not the point that we're getting at.
They can't
Like-
get bigger, though. I mean, sure, if
No,
they
they
would
couldn't.
decide to delete down and zero everything down, but, like,
It's the
to
way
what
that
end? What's
Imperium.
the
Like,
point?
actually, something I learned is not a lot of people know how like Imperium, the system actually works. Like they just think top 24, like that's it, right? Like, but when it comes to like shifting your power in KVK and how much power you can actually lose, it is insane. Like 254 was only able to drop Imperium when we fully zeroed 4 full alliances worth of players. I'm literally talking like each player would go down to 63 million and then fill their hospital. And then on top of that, we had to delete another like 100 one was it 1 to 1.5 million on top of already killing down to like full zero. That's how insane that type of power is. And that's the only that's why we think that 1093 would be looking to downsize. But again, like if they think that they can pull it off, then like sure, all the power to them. But I'm just gonna say it's going to be extremely hard to find a KVK match, every single KVK that requires you to, fully zero, like it gives you the opportunity to fully zero, I should say. Wait, would expanding the number of Imperiums to 48?
No.
No. Yeah, I think your help
If
make
they
kingdoms
expanded the
smaller
number of
faster.
Imperiums, then, like, all that does is make
No.
it so much harder for current Imperiums to drop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a good. If anything, they should like.
They
if
need to
actually-
make it less, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. They should bump it up to 12 or something like that.
Make it like 12.
Yeah. But
But then,
the only problem
what's the point that...
no, but
I-
there's no point bumping it to 12 because 90 then that only benefits 93 because then 93 has an easier time dropping. But if anything, I
Well,
think they want 93
I
to
guess...
downsize.
Yeah, I don't know.
After 93 downsize, would anyone even want to fight 960? No. I mean, 93 is the only kingdom in the game that can beat 960 in a 1v1. So, and that's in their
That
current
even have
state.
a chance.
Yeah, or yeah, even had a chance, exactly.
I mean, it's not over yet, so we'll see. But yeah, they're the only kingdom that even have a chance. But also vice versa, right? 960 are the only ones that can even remotely take on 93, so...
Yeah, exactly.
If one of them ceases to exist or gets really weak, then the other one will... I mean, yeah, they'll need to just stack KVKs against themselves. Like, if both of those kingdoms stay alive and well, like, they'll just need to fight each other over and over, to be honest, to like...
No, like you guys in 1556 and 1254.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't the same story back then. That was more of like a rivalry and whatever. Because, I mean, there was other
Yeah.
kingdoms to fight back then, realistically.
Oh, yeah,
But,
there were
yeah, I mean, now there really isn't. Like, no other kingdom can even get close to matching them one-on-one, so...
Mm-hmm. I doubt they downsize after proving they're the strongest kingdom in the game at full alliance kingdom. But it's not the point that they're the strongest. Like, sure, wow, like they're the strongest now. But what happens when 960 doesn't want to fight them next KVK, and the other one alliance Imperiums are in their own KVKs, what are they gonna do? They're on their fifth KVK pop. Like, they literally got no match found without 960 registering. So what happens if 960 doesn't register with them? How will they
1254?
get the opportunity?
It'd be like a 1254
Yeah.
situation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Well,
they're
domain.
Well, yeah, domain will help them find a match. Like, sure, they
Yeah.
find a match, but
Well,
how,
they just need to stack it against them. Like, let's say they were in this map, okay,
Well, they
without
split the KD in half.
960.
Yeah.
Domain
I
1,
mean,
Domain 2 for real.
if 960 wasn't in this KVK and it was
And then you
just
do
some other
1v4?
random camp, I mean, they would have to 1v5. They would have to fight everyone, and
Well,
they would
fine,
probably
yeah.
still win easily, to be honest.
Yeah, they'd still win so easily because.
Well, I mean,
like,
this KVK is a bad example because there's only like, I mean, we're a small Imperium, and apart from that, there's no other like real kingdoms apart from 960 and 93. So,
like, yeah, they could register with like, but the
but
thing is, like,
they would need to register with a lot of like medium size to
but
larger Imperiums.
365 is in KVK, 2489 is in KVK.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't-
being
I don't
on
know.
cycle is another story.
Yeah, like they're and those guys are not going to want to fight like.
Well, I don't know, maybe like
Right off the
24,
KVK.
29, 875, 2260, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. But again, that's flipping it. Like, that's just flipping Diplo, which I don't really like doing.
Yeah, and you need to convince everyone to fight you and all this
Yeah.
yada yada.
I feel like
All it takes is for one KVK for someone to pull a 2K and it's over.
Yeah, for one kingdom to just say, no, we're not fighting you, and yeah, that's that.
Alrighty. Do you guys have any other things you want to bring up or any questions or you want to answer?
We
Unless
skipped a
chat
bunch,
has something they want to know.
but yeah, it's
that we haven't answered
7:36 a.m.
7:36 a.m. Yo, shout out to Ruz for staying up, bro.
Bro, this fucking idiot, by the way. It was meant to start at 17 UTC, and this guy sends a picture of him at like some fucking restaurant, and he's like, "Oh, let's just push it to 18. I'm sure he won't mind."
Hey man,
Absolute
I appreciate
baboons.
you, Ruz, for staying up for the
Baboon,
pod.
bro.
I think it was a very successful first episode.
Oh yeah, it was
Um,
good. I mean, you peaked at like 300 viewers. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
like it's super solid. So appreciate you guys for coming on, telling your stories. I'm gonna be making this weekly, so look out for next Saturday. I'm gonna do this, run it back with some new guests, run it back with some new games and some new topics. So appreciate everyone for coming through. Do you guys have any final words you wanna say to the chat before we call it quits?
I mean, thanks for having us, and
Yes, sir.
thanks for listening and asking questions, and yeah, all that. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, and we'll keep in touch for sure. We'll definitely have some repeat guests. So whenever you guys are in KVK and the next drama happens, I'll be hitting you guys up for sure.
Well,
Next
look forward
time
to
I'll
coming.
stream Diplo chat for you, and then you could just go through the Diplo chat.
We'll
on
have the
podcast.
podcast during Diplo chat. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, appreciate you guys. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
All right, peace.
And we're gonna be rating Jake the Dogs, so give him some love. 2605 content creator. So, all right, peace.